Hey guys, the great and powerful Mr. E here.
And Jay.
And today, for today's episode, we're going to do something special. We're going to release an episode that we already recorded a while ago with Jeremiah
Byron
from the Bigfoot Society podcast.
Yes.
Like we talked about on Monday, he was just diagnosed with large cell leukemia. So down in the links below will be his, I believe it's called CareBridge, which is a website you can just kind of follow his medical journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then there will be his GoFundMe listed. You don't feel like you have to donate, but if you are felt led to donate or if you can, please support him. He's been a friend of the show for a really long time. He's a good guy. And we really care about him. And please just pray for him.
Yes.
That's what he asked for the most when I was talking to him on the phone. He just said, just please, everybody, if you can, be a prayer warrior and pray for him. So hopefully you enjoy this re-release. We don't do this very often, but we thought it was a special occasion.
Yeah, so enjoy this episode and hopefully this gets Jeremiah in your thoughts and in your prayers. So enjoy this episode, and this was a fun interview we did with him.
Bye.
Bye.
If you felt stuck trying to lose weight, you're not alone. Enter Weight Loss by Hers. It's designed to support you in reaching your goals. And Hers now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hers, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first GLP-1 available in a pill, so there are no needles needed. Everything is 100% online through Hers. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. And it doesn't stop there. Weight Loss by Hers goes beyond medication by offering access to 24/7 messaging with your care team and tons of in-app lifestyle and nutrition tips like recipes, meal plans, fitness videos, sleep content, and more. Even better, with a range of affordable GLP-1 options, Hers makes it simple to find an approach that fits your needs and your budget if eligible. You'll get a treatment plan personalized to you and unlimited dosage changes as needed. It's weight loss designed to work with your life. Ready to reach your goals? Visit forhers.com/women to get personalized, affordable care that gets you. That's forhers.com/women. forhers.com/women. Weight Loss by Hers is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit forhers.com.
Summer adventures are better with Minky Couture. From road trips to ball games, beach nights to backyard movies, Minky has you covered. Don't miss the Everywhere blanket. Water-resistant, ultra-soft, and made for life on the go. Wherever summer takes you, bring comfort along. MinkyCouture.com, the original best blanket ever.
Welcome to Cryptids of the Corn. Each week, Justin and Jay take a look at a topic in the crypto and paranormal world. They focus on the Midwest and Appalachia of the U.S., but sometimes they venture out with everything from well-known monster sightings to one-off cryptids, live person interviews to actual fieldwork sneaking in some science lessons. There's sure to be something you'll enjoy. Please join us this episode of Cryptids of the Corn.
Hello, and welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I am the dynamic and ultra intelligent Jay. Not really.
And
that is a lie.
Together, we are super excited to have a really special guest on the show.
Yes.
We're doing a crossover show, so it'll be a similar show on both podcasts. But I'm going to do it basic Justin fashion and sing a little song.
Sing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. This will be fun.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog He was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but he always treated me kind.
I like it.
Did you know I was going to do that?
I did not.
I was
No,
practicing.
that's really funny.
Right before we started recording. But no, Jeremiah from the Bigfoot Society podcast. Hello, thank you for being on.
Hey guys, how's it going? Justin and Jay, nice to see you again. I've already met you at CryptidCon, but
That's
I'm glad
right.
to hang out with you.
Yeah, last time you seen me, I was belligerent, probably.
Yeah, kind of the same now.
Yeah, but not from alcohol.
That's true. Lack of sleep.
I love it.
Well-
I'm psyched to talk to you guys. You guys are rocking it on Cryptids of the Corn out there in Ohio, similar to Iowa.
It's all
Sounds
corn.
similar, but yeah, it's all corn.
Yeah,
it's all corn.
flat and
Literally
corn.
from Northwest Ohio all the way out to probably Idaho. Northwest Ohio all the way out to Idaho. It's probably about the same towards the top of all those states. All right, so basically, I think we'll go first if you're okay with that.
I love that. Let's do it.
How did your podcast come to be? What kind of got you going with it?
Wow, that is the question for the ages. Bigfoot Society is a podcast that I started back in February of 2019. And, when I was a little kid, I was into watching weird stuff with my dad, like In Search of, that whole story you've heard a million times, that's my story. But then when I got a little older during high school, I was kind of like, I was out of it, But then when I got around 2018, 2017, I got involved. I worked at Apple with a few guys. We got into like talking about weird stuff. We found out there's a cryptid right next to Des Moines called the Van Meter Visitor.
Mm-hmm.
So I got involved with my buddy Andrew, who was doing the filming for Terror in the Skies by STM, Small Town Monsters. And he's like, dude, come with me and check this out. This is going to be awesome. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And I didn't know what he was going to have me do is be the guy off camera asking questions so that they could film it. And he's like, just come up with something off the top of your head. And because he had me do that, out of that situation, I found out that I actually love doing this. And I really love the weird stuff, the cryptid stuff. So I combined that all together. And eventually I was like, dude, no one has to give you like, you don't have to ask permission to do this. So I was like, let's do it. So I literally just started talking in my phone using the Anchor app, and it's kind of evolved since there. I talk to different people every week about all sorts of weird stuff, a lot of Bigfoot stuff, as in the name.
Right.
But that's how I got started. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot less alcohol involved than how we got started.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We pretty much were. I came up to the bar one night. I was kind of on a rip, and
Okay.
I walked up to Jay. Jay was my bartender. And I was like, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?" And he's like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah.
And we talked, and then we kept talking, and then eventually we started a local Bigfoot club.
Which was our Bigfoot Society.
Yeah, the Hardin
For
County
real.
Bigfoot Society.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then everybody got busy, like the core members. It was just getting really hard to schedule stuff, and it just ended up being me and Jay sitting talking anyway. So eventually we're just like, oh, let's buy this little $100 kit off of Amazon to start a podcast. And it was horrible, and it was great.
Yeah, I'd say both, all wrapped into one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we just had somebody, who was, I can't remember. Sorry, whoever's listening. I know I try to give out shout-outs names. Say they just went back and they loved the first episode. I'm like, you could hear German shepherds barking. A cat jumps on the table while we're recording. Nick's wife comes in the room, and you just hear walking through the background of that audio. It was horrible.
But it's like it's those episodes that got you to where you are right now, because I have the same thing. My first 5 episodes are rough, and it's literally just me talking into my phone while I'm waiting to like do Uber trips in downtown Des Moines, and you can literally hear like cop cars coming by the back of my car. But like my listeners, they love those plays, like, to see where it came from,
Where
and
it
then,
started.
Now it's today, I'm talking to people like, I just interviewed Mark Mersell, 2-hour interview.
Awesome.
and that's coming out in a few weeks. And that's like I'm able to talk to all these people, and I love it. It keeps me going, man.
Oh
so.
yeah.
I mean, that's almost a message to anybody out there doing anything they want to do. Just go out, just start doing it. Just start doing it and get the ball rolling, and it'll take you where it needs to take you. But you've got to put the effort in and just do it.
Inspirational
Absolutely.
Jay.
Yeah, start somewhere. Every journey begins with a single step.
Oh, Jay, you're so good. No, but those early Cryptids of the Corn. So, like, literally, I can talk to those because after I met you at CryptiCon, those I was like, man, I gotta listen to these podcasts. So, like, I binged about 3 or 4 of them right off the bat. Those kept me awake during the plane ride back to Iowa. They kept me sane, actually. But
The first
they're
ones are
really
rough.
good. Like, they're not rough. They're good, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't believe it, but thank you. All right, what do you got for us?
All right. So, Justin, first question for me is for you.
Oh
okay?
gosh, okay.
And actually, this is kind of a weird situation because you both are there, right? So if the other one wants to chime in,
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop you from chiming in.
Okay.
But Justin, here we go. What episode of Cryptids of the Corn so far has been received the best by your audience in a way that you weren't expecting? Was there like, has there been a sleeper episode where you're like, whoa, where did this come from? You know?
Yeah, I definitely think it's our organic UFO kind of trilogy.
Ooh.
Just because I know I was really passionate about it, but I even said when we started recording them, like, it's, especially the second one in the 3 so far we've done, because I'm just like, I know I really am excited about it, but it's just such a weird, like, I got a lot of pushback from the UFO community. I got a lot of heat. They did not like it. And literally in that episode, I say, like, this only represents, what did I say, like 5% of UFO sightings or something like that.
Yeah.
This is a really small section of UFO sightings that are what I feel are organic, like creatures from the upper atmosphere. And everybody loved it. I mean, it's blown up. I mean, we were just on Appalachian Intelligence for it.
Oh, wow.
Talked to Tony about it. And we have, it's just like it gained its own life. And it was so, definitely did not expect it. I didn't even think people would like it. And it's all 3 of them in our top, 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But it definitely gained, out of the whole show, it gained its own life. That was a weird one. I guess I like it because I'm glad everybody else likes it because I get to keep talking about it.
Right, exactly. It is fun to talk about, too.
It's stuff like that is so weird. Like, those episodes that people just like, hey, you could write a book on that. I mean, it's like, but that's awesome. Jay, do you agree as well?
I definitely agree with that. But what came to my mind was our Mothman trilogy.
Oh gosh,
because we recorded that over 2 days, over 9 hours of content. And I just, when it was over, we publish it all. It's like, that's a lot. No one's going to want to listen to that, like all of that. And then most of the people we talked to, they're like, oh, yeah, we loved your Mothman and listened to it. One guy even said listen to it like 3 times each.
He listened to it 3 times.
Like each episode. And it's just, that blows my mind. It's like, wow.
Thousands of people listened to that whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
And I was like, nobody's going to listen to this.
So that one like really shocked me that it was received that well,
To that note, it's like what annoyed me about other people doing the Mothman stuff is that it was very singular.
Okay.
You just get how did I put? Basically, they already have their ending point they want, and they just give you the path to that point. We didn't want to do that, so we just gave everything. You got it all the weird stuff, all the poltergeist, all the all the entities, all the UFO sightings. Because the Mothman was definitely not the star of the stuff when it was happening.
Right, a Point Pleasant.
It was not the big thing, and it was the big deal in Point Pleasant. They seen so many UFOs during that flap that they got bored of them. People stopped caring. There was UFOs seen every day hovering like 30 to 40 feet above ground in some areas.
Right,
It's
like,
wild.
you imagine seeing that and just finally, like, day 72,
being bored of it.
not caring.
It's like whatevs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
I've seen that thing for a year.
Yeah.
I threw a rock at it the other day. It turned purple and vibrated, and so we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one, Jay.
Yeah, that's what popped in my head first. Just
I love it.
Just from the experiences of, especially meeting people at like conferences like CryptidCon. You just you never know what someone's going to tell you, and sometimes you're just shocked by what people reveal, who's listening, and what episodes they like.
And speaking of that,
no doubt.
Everybody
No
at home,
doubt.
we are just drunk people from Ohio. If you approach us, we are not celebrities. That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I just feel like I'm not like people wanting us to sign stuff and like people driving long distances to meet us, and it's just like
we're just some guys.
like come to the bar.
But thank you to the people that do, man.
Oh yeah,
Oh heck yeah.
You guys rock. You guys rock. And like, meeting you guys in person, you guys are the most down to earth dudes. You're right over by the mountain monsters, literally.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging out with those guys. But dude, when I have a booth at the Van Meter Visitor, I love it when people come up and, this one guy, Pat, was like, dude, gotta tell you about this Bigfoot sighting I had a town over south of here, back in the 90s. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. Bring it on, Pat. Dude,
That's the
rocks.
best part, probably, is just getting those stories before they die. Because most of the time those
Exactly.
those encounters die with people. They die.
I know.
I'll tell you a quick little story if you want.
All right.
Our first logo art, Harry and the Bigfoot in the cornfield, we call him Harry. That was one of the first encounters that ever got told to us, and the guy that told us to us he will not admit it was a Bigfoot.
Right. He does not believe.
So here in Northwest Ohio, on harvest, the corn is easily 6.5 to 8 foot tall. 6.5 is a bad year at harvest. Taking corn down. And we often run combines at night, all night during harvest, just because to get it, to get it in. So the guy that gave us the encounter kind of came up to us, and he's like, real aggressive. You believe in all that Bigfoot crap? And we're like, yeah, we do. He's like, it's not real. I'm like, all right, that's fine. But I did see something weird once, and he proceeds to tell us that when he was combining that night, they have big. Everybody at home that may not know, they have really big, basically stadium lights on the front of them. So they don't hit stuff in the cornfield.
It's wild.
And we live in a college town, so the college kids do all kinds of stuff out in the cornfield. So he is not a stranger to having people in the cornfield when he's harvesting.
Okay.
But he's telling us that he's like, this is really weird. He's like, I seen a guy stand up and run. And he's like, that's not what's weird. What was weird is his shoulders and his head were above the corn the whole time he was running. And I'm like, yeah, and we haven't said, like, do you think at all it could have been a Bigfoot or anything? No, that's all bull crap. That don't exist. I
said even faster than anyone has ever seen run before.
Yeah. So I don't think it was Shaq and Usain Bolt out there.
Yeah.
No,
be.
probably
Could be,
not.
but probably not.
I mean, it could be Shaq, but he's not that fast.
That's true. Yeah.
You got to remember that.
He'd be tired.
But yeah, that's how our first logo came, and we actually had the logo before we had the name.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
And then stole it from Children of the Corn.
I was like, I really want to ask him that. So here's a funny story. I'll tag this on. So this is the first time I heard of you guys. So I'm trying to think of I do a podcast for the Patreon where I talk about like what I'm investigating in Iowa. And I'm like, I gotta come up with a name for this. I gotta be really punny and clever. I was like, Cryptids of the Corn. This is gonna be awesome. And then I was like, you probably should check because someone probably already has that. And I looked it up on Apple Podcasts and I was like, son of a gun. And I was like, oh, these guys are actually good.
Oh,
That's awesome.
very nice.
Yeah. So it ended up being called the Iowa Files instead. But,
Iowa File sounds pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Cryptids of the Corn is like it's one of the best names I've ever heard for. It's so fun.
It is fun, yeah.
Little PSA for all the people thinking about starting a podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you can spell your name very easily. Because that's a big thing with like typing in to get hits and stuff on search, like all on the podcast apps.
Yeah.
Because that was Jerry from Hillbilly Horror Stories.
Yeah.
He's the one that told me that. So it really helped us, I feel like, to having that nice, easy, rememberable name. Because you have some of these shows that have really awesome names, but I can't spell.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be a bit wordy too.
If I have,
sometimes.
if I have to type it in more than 3 times to figure out what it is, I'm probably giving up.
Also, buy the URL for the website, even if you think that it's not going to turn anything, because someone will buy it and then you will. I'm not going to go into it,
Yeah,
but
you gotta deal with
it'll
them
be
then.
a lot more than $10 a year. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
oh
that.
yeah.
Just buy a URL.
Just buy it. Just buy it, guys. It's
And
$10 a year.
I don't know for you, but copyright here in Ohio, I think it's $110. Like we copyrighted our name immediately just because it was like, we don't have to deal with it. I mean, I'm sure you listen to Derek's show, or Monsters Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him talking about his early days with that copyright claim?
No.
He had to change his original
wow.
name. He was Here Be Monsters.
Oh no! Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So after
dear.
that, I was like, we just get it copyrighted and just not deal with it.
Wise words.
Yeah.
Wise words on this podcast for sure.
I don't
Should
know.
we go on to the next question?
Yes.
Yeah,
Whose turn
sure.
is it? I don't remember.
I think it's mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. And listeners are probably like, no, he's wrong. Anyways, whatever, guys.
I'm
I
wrong a
appreciate
lot.
you.
So.
We'll roll with it. It's all good.
Jay,
Yes.
what is your? I appreciated what you were wearing at CryptidCon.
Oh, my tinfoil
Specifically,
hat.
Your tinfoil hat. So, what is your favorite tinfoil hat topic?
Oh.
What do you just love?
Oh gosh.
Oh. I guess I could be very specific. 9/11 always interests me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
That one's a pretty deep one to just
Dear heavens.
dive right into.
Right off the rip.
How old are you guys?
When that happened,
27.
Oh.
When it happened or right now?
Were you alive when that happened?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
I was in
all right,
third
cool.
grade, and they put it on the TV.
I was in like
I was in
6th
college.
grade.
Mrs. Butterfield. I was in Mrs. Butterfield's class,
wow,
third
okay.
grade.
Yeah.
I remember it all because they got us out of the cafeteria,
Yep.
put us all back in homeroom, and I remember Mr. Clausen, the principal. They were all discussing with the teachers whether they should show it, and they said yes, everybody needs to see this, and they put it on.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Like that one, and yeah, we lived through it. And it's kind of crazy going back and thinking through those days, and then moving forward to research you do now and stuff like that. Just some things are just weird.
now, I want you to be very specific because these are why we don't touch these topics on the main show very much.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
You deal within the motives of the act, not the actual questioning of the act.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there's some people that say people didn't die.
No.
And I don't want you to be
yeah.
lumped into that
No,
group.
Obviously not that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
people did pass away.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
They died,
awful,
100%.
awful day. But
Yeah.
what led up to it or what the motivation was behind it,
That's what you're questioning.
yeah, and that's where the conspiracy part can come in. But I mean, like to reflect the wearing of the hat, more or less, like the alien talk, the space talk, things like that, interests me a lot. I think there's I just think there's a lot of information that's out there that is all misdirection. Some things that just might seem like fantastic, crazy stories, are just there to mislead you, so you don't know the actual truth. Whereas in the truth they might be telling you as well is also not the truth, or what the main narrative you're being told. But I think there's a lot out there that's thrown out there as conspiracy that is just there to also mislead you and misdirect you, to take that focus off, stop, it's not this main thing that's going on. It's just like a misdirection. And then once you go down that rabbit hole deep enough, and now you're lumped into this group of people that will believe anything, and and you're still further away from the truth than you ever were at the beginning of it. To begin, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I totally get it, man. Man, that's a good answer. Yeah. For me right now, it's Egyptian civilizations in the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah, I like
Ooh,
that one.
Yeah.
I'm desperately trying to find someone to interview about that. So if anyone is listening from Cryptids of the Corn audience or my audience, and you're like, I know about that, I wrote a book, please email me, bigfootsociety@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you.
Do we?
Not any experts or anything, just like people that casually would talk about it maybe, but nothing like research heavy. I don't know anyone.
I can't.
It's very niche.
Joel wasn't into that, was he? Not as in he's researched. I don't think.
I think we've talked about it.
But I don't think he's like done a
Right.
deep dive into it.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think so.
No,
But
I
yeah.
thought I may have known somebody.
I
for
mean,
it.
that is interesting how some of the mountains and structures are named after, Egyptian places and cities in Egypt.
It's weird.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of weird.
And then that story of that guy finding that cave down in that had like
Yes.
Egyptian artifacts and mummified remains.
That's the one.
I just know it's one of the best places to find razorback suckers.
Which
I
is a
don't know
fish.
what that is.
It's a fish.
It's a fish. Okay.
They're
I was
critically
like,
endangered in the U.S. and they live in the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
like kissing pigs or something. Or...
Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Razorback
I
suckers.
haven't actually.
I've been there once as a kid growing up. We went
Okay.
out west, and we went to the Hoover Dam and then the Grand Canyon. It's
Oh, wow.
huge.
Jay lost one of his brothers in it.
Yeah. No, that's not true. He's lying.
It's a high price to pay.
Yeah, worth the experience of seeing the Grand Canyon though.
You have to sacrifice one of your kids every time you go.
Yeah.
Feed the hole. Feed the hole.
Feed the hole. Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you.
All right, pal.
Now, this is one I'm asking you because I know our answer for it. So this is kind of a double-edged thing why I'm asking it.
Boy.
What do you feel is your maybe not least successful episode, but the one you didn't like the most, or the one you had the most problems with, or anything like that? What's the episode that sticks out in your head of being, man, I didn't like how I did that, or man, because I definitely know what one we have. Well, what ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one it is. And this is crazy. And this is not reflecting on, I'm going to preface this by, this is not reflecting on the person at all. Okay. I thought that the audio in the Todd Neese episode, where I interviewed Todd Neese, was really rough and not up to my expectations. And it's my highest downloaded episode of all time. And I'm like, people love it. I'm like, dude, imagine if the guy had a killer mic. Like, come
Yeah.
on. But I mean, that's nothing on Todd's a great guy. But yeah, that's the one that comes to mind right off the bat. Also, one of my earlier ones, I talked to Shane Corson, and I was very green still, and I didn't feel like it was like really like I love Shane's awesome and the stuff we talked about is awesome, but it didn't have like I was expecting like magic, like you don't get there until you're a few years into it. But like people really like that one too. So you never know what's gonna really hit,
Mhm.
So you just gotta go with it, do the best you can,
It is funny how that works though. Like the ones you have the least expectations for just like really do well.
Yeah.
Jay already knows what one I'm going to say is definitely our worst episode, and it's our fault. It's very much our fault. It would be the Hodag episode, and it still does great on downloads.
Oh no.
Well, we were like, we need to record an episode, and that's before we had a schedule and everything down. Like we were still real. I mean, we're still new to this, but that was when we were really new.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that was the end of November. That was like episode, I don't even remember, early season 1.
Right, yeah. It was a learning moment though.
Yeah, it definitely was. You can't drink and do this. So we had a cornhole tournament. So Ohio cornhole tournament. It was we were probably there for 6 or 7 hours, drinking heavy. And I mean heavy. I had 2 buckets of Reds plus a lot of Crown Apple shots. And Jay was right there with me.
And I'm not. Yeah. I was drinking a lot too, and I'm not a very big guy, so it does.
I have
take its
150
effects.
pounds on Jay.
He's 2 of me.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it was, and we were drinking hard.
So we got the bright idea of, hey, let's record an episode. It'll be fun.
It was like because a couple. I mean, at that point we had 20 listeners,
Yeah.
15. I don't know. And they were like a couple wanted a drunk cast because we had talked about doing it, and they'd put on the
Yeah.
Facebook page they wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, do it the Hodag." Well, we get to the studio and we are like, can't sit in the chair. We're still drinking, and I remember like first 2 or 3 minutes in the podcast, I was just like, "This is so fake." About to fall over. We're sharing a mic at this stage.
Oh no. Yeah.
It was horrible. and friggin' everybody loved it.
Well, we found out, not at first they didn't, because we found out, like, what was it? A few days later, we checked on Anchor. We could see, like, the listen time. Literally, like, 5 minutes, and it dropped to nothing.
Oh, gosh.
And we're like, oh, what happened? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this didn't do good. And then, like, when we probably the first time we kind of blew up in May, then it got a whole bunch of love. Because I think we had done a lot more serious, like normal, like what more of our format now episodes by that point. So when we started doing conferences and meeting people and stuff, and people started going back through the backlog,
Yep.
it was like normal episode, belligerent Northwest Ohio drunks, normal episode. And I think that's why people kept going back to it, because it was just random, just this one episode.
Yeah.
We are completely blitzed.
Yeah.
And trying to read my paper, and it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, it was a learning moment. Don't do that again. It's not going to work. No matter how great of an idea it sounds at the time, it's not going to work.
Did you guys ever watch Dig Nation? That's probably before your time. So there used to be, back in like the early before podcast days, there was like a web show called Dig Nation, and it was these two guys that would talk about tech news, but they would be blitzed the whole time. And it was massive, because it's like that whole drunk history thing.
Right, yeah.
People, it's tough on you, but people love it.
That's awesome. But yeah, we've drank on episodes now, but we've never pre-gamed 7 hours for an episode.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, guys.
That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then people love it. Every time we go.
It's just fitting it was the Hodag, Wisconsin episode.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the drunkest state.
Yeah,
they have the suckiest mounds. The suckiest mounds, Wisconsin.
Can someone like make a Wisconsin postcard? Some graphic designer that's listening, and like, Wisconsin, the suckiest mounds.
Pear, I know you were going to listen to this. Make that.
Yeah.
He's our graphic designer.
Yeah.
Ooh. The gauntlet is thrown.
Yeah.
Pear, I'm talking to you. I don't do this very much in our episodes at all. So this is a direct message to you. Make that.
Make that.
I'll probably get it. I don't know when this will come out, but I'll probably get that like 2 days after.
Randomly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I believe it's your turn.
Let's go. Yeah, so let's see. We're up to a Justin question.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. What is Bigfoot?
Ooh, okay. I got a good answer for this one. I think there are two tall, hairy creatures currently that look ape-like that are currently existing on planet Earth, or two types. I had a Bigfoot encounter. The one I had the encounter with was very much an animal. It ate grain out of our horse bins. It took chickens. It did animal things, and it acted like an animal. And long story short, it ended with my dad shooting into the trees above it, and it taking off, and it was this whole big thing. But that thing fully was scared of the gun when the noise went off. Every action that thing did over that, like 2 years we had the encounters with it, it was always an animal. But we've had people talk to us. We've had people on the show that deal with this more spiritual or supernatural Sasquatch.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think you have either, in my personal opinion, you have the relic hominid, which is what I experienced, the creature that is maybe close related to us, maybe not. I don't know if it's Gigantopithecus, but it is a flesh and blood creature that existed here, came over the first time the land bridge was formed in like 46,000 years ago, something like that, when Bob was just a kid. So came over, and then you have the Fey folk Bigfoot. So this creature, this entity, Fey folk all across the whole planet are famous or infamous for presenting themselves in the way you want them to present. So whatever energy you're putting out there, that's how they show their self. So how many people go in this woods or go out in the deep dark places, and they expect or kind of have that back of their mind, they want to see a Bigfoot, or they have this idea that it's lurking around every tree out to get you. And then you encounter the Fey folk, and now you have a hairy human-like creature, but it has red glowing eyes. It runs off the cliff, doesn't fall. It's here, then it's there, then it disappears, and then it reappears. It phases in and out of trees. That I completely think is a phenomena that looks like the flesh and blood Bigfoot, but is not related whatsoever. I really am a firm believer there's these two things that look very similar, and one of them looks like the Bigfoot because of us, because we put these images out there. A lot of the Native American stories there's some, I mean, that's a big statement I just said. Some of the Native American stories it is most of the time it is described as either a lost tribe, but very humanistic, super strong humans, but very humanistic characteristics. There's not a lot of supernatural stuff besides like the strength and the speed attributed to Bigfoot by a lot of tribes. They are, forest guardians, earth mothers. They get names like that, but they're not phasing in and out of trees in most stories until basically white people got here with the fairies from Europe, or the idea of fairies from Europe. And we started getting these stories, and I really think that the fae folk that are native to here, are what we're seeing, that are the red glowing eyes, the Bigfoot that's here or there disappearing. So that's a really long answer to a short question, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's a good answer.
I like it, though. That is a great answer. If no one's thought that through in their mind, that will bring them on a journey for sure. And I like that. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Because the one we had was terrified. The one we had was terrified of that gun. The one we had ate grain. Like, if it's interdimensional, alien, whatever the other side is, it wouldn't need to do any of that. It was acting so much like a territorial animal that it just didn't make sense if it was something extra. But there's people, I firmly believe, that have told us their encounters with the supernatural, the Bigfoot with red glowing eyes, the Bigfoot that the mind speak stuff and everything like that. I believe them. I don't think it was the same thing I seen. It's not the same entity I encountered. Because that thing was definitely scared of a gun. We were scared of it.
I really like that because, a lot of people, it's almost like everyone thinks like, oh, it's either an ape or it's a Skinwalker Ranch portal person. And it's like, why can't it be two different things or two different variants or like it seems like everyone is thinking like it's either my way or the highway with Bigfoot.
Oh gosh, it happens.
Yeah, dude. But I like that. That's good stuff, Justin. Thank you.
So what do you think Bigfoot is? This is my question. I'm just rebuttaling.
Yeah. Personally, from I've talked to people on the side, NAWAC, those guys. I've talked to the Olympic Project guys. I've talked to, your guys like Tobe Johnson from Owl Moon Lab. Those guys. So either side. Personally, what I think we're dealing with is some sort of like undiscovered gray ape, but I preface that by saying I cannot explain when people are like going through a portal or going into a tree or like, I mean, that stuff blows my mind and I don't know what to say to it, but if I had to choose like what I think it is, and I've said it other times before, like, I think that especially in the PNW in like, Ouachita Mountains of Oklahoma, like I think it's some sort of weird undiscovered ape and like these pockets of, it just blows my mind. That's what I want it to be anyways.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, your next question. What has been one of your favorite interactions with a fan/listener? You don't have to pick. I know you don't have to pick a favorite. I said one of your favorites.
Yeah. That's a really good question. Shoot. I'm trying to. This is tricky. I haven't had many, so you would think it wouldn't be hard. Because I'm just starting to get into the conference circuit, like this at CryptidCon was the first time that I was able to actually meet a lot of people in real life, which is very
I know
awesome
you were busy.
And special. Best. It was actually pretty cool. I was able to meet a guy named Jake Dressel, who listens to the show. He also listens to Shannon's show, Shannon LeGros show. But he was like, I gotta tell you my Bigfoot story. And he was telling me the story about like how he saw this like small Bigfoot and stuff. I was like, man, this sounds really familiar. And then he was like, oh, you may remember the story from like the Ken Gerhard book about Bigfoot. I was like, no way, you're the dude. That's crazy. Like if you read Ken's book, like this guy's drawings are actually in the book. Oh, actually, sorry, I got a really good. I gave myself.
There you
some
go.
time
Now
to
you
think
got
about
time.
stuff.
Yeah.
I got. So I'm gonna try to be really, really. Okay, so I live in a small Iowa town,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm walking my kid to school, and we're walking back. We're almost to home. And you know, in the movies when like the kid is riding up on like the '80s bike, and he does like the
Yeah.
I hear that. I was like, hey, dude, what's up? And he's like, dude, are you Bigfoot Society? What are you doing here? I was like, well, we kind of live here. And he was like, oh, cool, Bigfoot Society rocks. All right, see ya. I was like, whoa.
That's sweet.
And like, it got to the point where like I've been in the local gas station, and like, this guy came up to me. He was like, oh, dude, Bigfoot Society, how's it going? I'm like, oh, this maybe has more reach than I thought it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Pat. You're the cool dude. So those are the most fun that come to mind.
That's awesome. Yeah, that 80s bike skid.
Yeah.
So I got one, and Jay, you can give one too after I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Ricky and Austin.
Oh, okay.
These dudes drove at Crypticon this year. Drove all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to meet us. Like that was their goal. And it was like these guys made a beeline into us. I'm like, oh gosh. And so shout out Ricky, shout out Austin. Love you guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yep. And Ricky is the father. Austin's the son. But Ricky kind of walks up to me and he says, I drove 800 miles just to tell you this. I'm like, oh gosh, what? He's like, it was a sandhill crane. And I flipped out. I was like,
oh no.
Because there was in our Mothman saga, right in the middle of it. So he listened to the whole frickin' thing. I get super upset and I throw a pen and I break a pen on the door in the studio. And I just started laughing. He started laughing. It was funny. But no, that's kind of mine. And we've had a lot of great ones. So everybody at home, don't feel bad. We gave you shout outs.
Right, yeah. Mine's
Dude,
probably
that's fantastic.
mine was probably up on Bigfoot and Brews when we did that. I mean, in general, just people opening up to you and telling you like their
that's always
personal
amazing.
experiences and stories. That's my most favorite part with all this. But we had one up, this lady up in Jill up in Michigan. She was telling me stories that just were blowing my mind. And then she went and showed me, like, she did, like, drawings and stuff of things that she experienced. And, like, her drawings were awesome. Showed me a bunch of her cool art and photos and things like that. But that whole experience was just, it was really nice. Like,
Yeah,
it was
cool
cool
for you.
Yeah, it was cool. Like,
Sucked for me, but
yeah, because I left Justin alone at the booth for a while, but he had company.
2 hours.
2 hours, my butt.
Oh,
It-
dude,
no.
that's a long time.
We can ask Joel.
It was
Sean,
not. Yeah, you can
because
ask
they went
them.
and looked for you.
Yeah, it was
They
not
got
that
worried.
long. Maybe an hour.
Kill the Mockingbirds podcast was hanging out there with us.
But yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
it was awesome. Like,
that was a ball.
yeah, and
And
great conference. But yeah, I mean, just those experiences, meeting people, and just getting their personal stories that they're not gonna tell anyone, and they're not gonna. We always ask them, "Well, you want to record it? We can record it," and they're just like, "No, I don't want to record it." But you
Just
can,
want to talk about it.
yep, and you can tell they're sincere, and we can
Yep.
tell. You can tell when people are kind of talking their own stories up or elaborating a little too much, or
Oh, totally.
you
Don't
just
you say a single name.
you just know when some things are afoot, I guess.
You're
And-
horrible.
No, I'm being serious. I mean, not just even regular people that will come up and tell you stories of things that they've seen or experienced, and you're just like, okay, you can tell. I don't know. There's just a different energy when you know someone's being sincere and honest,
Absolutely.
and when they're just kind of stretching maybe their truth a little bit too much. That's probably the best, nicest way to put it.
Speaking of that nature, not the falsehoods, the real genuine stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll tell you one more story.
I will love it.
Our first conference we ever did was Ohio Bigfoot.
Okay.
We got set up in a premier spot due to just hanging out with Robert from You Big Apes. He's a really great guy. Love Robert. But Robert takes good care of Cryptids of the Corn. We actually call him Chief Cornstalk.
Nice reference.
He makes a lot of our stuff for us. But Robert put us in a really nice spot. This guy, we're right by the front door. This guy that does not look like he wants to be here pays his entry fee. And he's just wearing kind of hunter clothes. He looks super uncomfortable. Keep in mind, Ohio Bigfoot this past year was like 11,000 people.
Really?
Yeah.
That was big, yeah.
Ooh.
Very packed.
We couldn't move for 10 hours. We talked constant. But so this guy comes in right off the rip, right when it opens. He looks super uncomfortable. He kind of sees us, comes over to us, and he just kind of starts asking about Bigfoot. He's like, well, I had an encounter. He's like, I was walking up a hill in Egypt Valley, Ohio. I don't know if you ever heard of that, anything with that. That's one of the craziest places that, for weird stuff, not just Bigfoot, but weird paranormal stuff. Egypt Valley, Ohio is super funky. I don't go there just because it's more of the supernatural than the physical happens there.
Yeah, I'd say that more supernatural.
So he's like, I was hunting in Egypt Valley, and he's like, I was on the ridge going up. Something kept running at me like a bull. Something kept running at me. He's like, it sounded like a bull, but I'd never seen anything. And it would stop 10 feet away and then back up and then do it again. And he's like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it because I'd never seen it. There's nothing there, but I can feel it and I can hear it coming at me. And then finally it went off over the other side of the ridge. And he was really shaken up and really freaked out about it. And we're just kind of like, well, that really sounds like an Ohio Bigfoot bluff charge. So Hocking Hills, Ohio, which is about 60 miles south of there, maybe less than that, probably 40 miles south, is famous for those kind of encounters where these really, really high-intensity, scary encounters that nothing really happens in the end, but they're terrifying encounters. You know, the tree shakings, the rocks whizzing past your head, the false charges.
Bluff charges. The main thing.
So we tell him that, and he's like, it probably was a Bigfoot. And I'm like, I don't know that, but that's what it kind of sounds like. And he's like, is there any laws about shooting them? And we're like, I don't think there's any laws about it.
Yikes.
But I've heard a lot of people say they've shot him and not a lot's happened besides making him mad. He's like, all right, I'm going to go kill one. And then he just left. He left the whole conference.
Oh, no.
And he never got a hold of us again.
No.
But he just needed that little bit of somebody to tell him, no, you're not crazy, this happens. I think he calmed down. I'm going to guess he calmed down when he got home. Because that's all he wanted. That's all he wanted that whole day was somebody to tell him, no, that happens to other people. Like, other people have experienced the same thing. And I get that feeling because I didn't talk about my Bigfoot encounter for probably 5 years because we didn't know that other people experience this stuff. We're in Northwest Ohio. We're not known for Bigfoot.
Sure.
I mean, we don't got anything. We have corn. So I feel like he was kind of in that same boat where he just wanted somebody to tell him, no, you're not crazy. Other people experience this same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got that, he left. And he had paid his entry fee, and he walked right back out the door. We never seen him again.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll see him this year in May. Hope you're still alive.
I was literally just thinking that. I was like, what if the plot twist is he tried to go do it, and it took him out, and that's why you never heard? Hopefully not.
We'll find out in May.
Not. Yeah, we'll see if he shows back up in May.
Fingers crossed.
If he comes in his camo orange jacket, I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Unless he's a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, ghost, nice.
I believe it's your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to read the question, and then I'll do a shorter version of it to kind of clarify what I'm trying to get across, because it's going to come across weird. Is there a topic that you've covered on your podcast that has taken on a life all of its own and has really affected your own life outside of the recording studio, i.e. something like Hellier?
Oh. Yeah, I got. You go ahead. You go first.
I was gonna say the
You're gonna take that one.
the mushroom UFO.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Just still my life, but
is that what you were gonna do?
no.
Okay, yeah, like the fungi UFO.
Oh gosh, that really did blow up.
Something like that. That's probably been that was Justin's mind creation, but I think he's really onto something there. But there may be some UFO like organisms living in the atmosphere that are fungi or funguses. But just to bring that into our own life, because we talk about it now, but now we're actually outside when a mushroom pops up. We actually talk to them a little bit because they might have some intelligence to them. So you just might throw out a conversation to them, and you never know if they're listening or not. So we're just nice to them, and I guess that's changed a little bit in my life. Like I said on our last show we were on, I'm not going to run up and field goal kick a mushroom anymore and just like launch it as far as I can. But now we actually sit and we'll talk to one.
I don't mow them over them in my yard at all.
Yeah.
Emily was complaining because I had a big hen in the woods in the front yard this year, and like honey mushrooms, and I just would avoid them because the grass was all patchy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Joel Thomas Nephilim portal babies thing. That took us to places. I mean, that's how we met Tony Merkel. That's how we.
Wow.
So Joel Thomas came on our show. Was that the second? No, that's the first time he came on the show. Joel's a really good friend of ours. We love Joel.
Okay.
Hanging out with him we're hanging out with him next week, and then we're going up ice fishing in June. But he came on our show, and he talked about the Dogman documentary he did, and was fine.
Oh, yeah.
We did an hour on it, no problems.
Yeah.
We did an hour, no problems. And then he started talking about that kind of thought. I don't know. Have you heard any of that stuff with him?
The Nephilim stuff?
The Nephilim, yeah, his portal baby thoughts.
Not his. I mean, I've listened to Blurry Creatures before. Shout out for Blurry Creatures. But I don't know anything about, actually, I haven't gotten to that episode yet. So
it's a lot. And it's just, it's out of my wheelhouse. Not saying anything. Joel's got it all, like, he's got a lot figured out that I don't understand because it's really not my thing. So if that makes any sense to anybody at home, it's like when it's just not your subject. He knows so much about that, and it's way out of my wheelhouse. So he starts talking about that. Instantly, we lose all power to our recording software.
Oh, no.
But here's the thing with our recording software. We use a Zoom PK4 with a battery pack. So
So do I.
Oh, there you go. So if it becomes unplugged, it still records for up to 2 hours.
Yeah.
It didn't come unplugged, and it wouldn't turn on.
It just completely shut off.
And it wasn't the outlet because the computer's plugged into the same outlet. We can still see Joel. And then I had to unplug it, plug it back in, turn back on, start it back up. So we skipped over that subject. It was fine. I didn't know this, but he was on Eric's show, Uncomfortable, the previous night, and had similar popping. He had popping noises, and he had similar power failings. What did they say, like 16 times?
10 plus times.
Yeah, 10 plus times with StreamYard, wasn't it? Or was it StreamYard or Zoom?
I can't remember which
Anyways,
one
one
they
of
used, but either way, it kept shutting down.
It kept saying server error. It kept saying system maintenance. They were on the phone with the company, and they couldn't get it to work.
Oh, goodness.
It was ridiculous. And then he goes like a week later onto Tony's show, and they completely fry. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it. The Rodecaster Pro recording board.
Oh no!
An $900 board. It just dies. Why they start talking about it. So we have a whole big like 5-hour episode on it on our show, and it's on Tony. It's the same episode across all. We did it. We cross.
Yeah, no, it's a great episode. That it's great.
So when we get down there, so we all go and hang out with Tony at his studio. I rented a house that we all shared. Uncomfortable Eric and Joel, and the power goes out. And it's just 4 houses around us and us. It's like they're super weird. It's just that topic took on
a whole life of its own.
And that's the quietest episode I've ever been on for me because it's just like I experienced all this, and I'm like, I don't know nothing about this stuff.
Speechless.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just here because I was asked to be here.
Yeah. It was a crazy time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Dude, that's wild. My version of that is, it's this weird thing where, like, it was half affecting my life because it turned into a podcast episode. I was reading a book by David Weatherly about Iowa cryptids, and there was a phrase in it about the Iowa Bigfoot Information Center. And then I was like, holy mackerel, what is that? I've never heard about this. And then I just went, you know that meme where it's like Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and he's in front of the board with the red lines.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a solid 3 months heads down trying to figure out like what that was back in the 70s. And actually, hold on, give me a second. Okay, yeah, I can say. I tracked down, like, one of the dudes is still alive. I tracked down where he is, and like, it turned into this wild and crazy adventure that is still going on to this day. And like, it seriously, like, has affected my life. And it's just like, yeah, that sometimes you just get wrapped into this, like, figure out the mystery, but you're like, how far do you let yourself go?
Mm-hmm.
Because the line between podcasting and researcher sometimes becomes blurred / journalist, and it's like, how far do you let yourself go before you start affecting it? It's crazy, dude. But yeah, it sometimes happens, and actually, that's the most fun.
Oh,
I
I agree with that.
I get hyper obsessive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, me too. Oh, dude, it's to a fault. Like, I'll go down to the living room, talk to my wife, and I'll just start unloading, and she's like, dude, what are you doing up there?
Yeah. Yeah.
You come down with the tinfoil hat.
Yeah, you got
Pretty much.
the red string is everywhere, connecting every dot to everything.
All over the house now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've used that same meme before, but we're actually turning the podcast. So here's a little sneak peek for everybody. The
Ooh.
podcast studio ceiling will eventually be that meme.
That's awesome.
And we've talked about what's going to be up there and stuff like that, all kinds of random stuff.
We just got to start connecting the dots.
Yeah, it's going to make no sense to anybody else.
Right.
Do it.
There's going to be a mushroom and a Bigfoot, and then elves, and then the government. That actually follows so far.
In a snallygaster or salamander.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Oh, yeah.
My final question for you.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for this one?
I sure am.
What
hope.
is one of your favorite encounters you've gotten? Not just because of the encounter itself, but maybe something around the encounter. Like a personal story of somebody you knew, anything like that. I love off-the-topic questions because
That's a really good question.
It's great for silence
Mm.
because everybody
really
loves
is.
audio silence.
Yeah, but all this
It's
can
the
be.
best. Yeah, you love audio silence as a podcaster.
I always sing to fill the gaps. And I feel like I just got home, and I feel like I'll never be alone, because I feel...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I got
Good.
one.
Didn't know any more lyrics after that.
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna run out. I will say, the closest I can get to an answer for you is just because I really like this story, this encounter story, because it came from a gentleman that you would not expect this to come from. So this comes from Dr. Jeff Meldrum.
Mm.
And back in the day, I used to do... Bigfoot Society is totally evolving all the time. So I used to do, like, split up the episodes, and then I would do like a after show thing, and stuff would get really wild and crazy in those after, because I would just like throw out like crazy stuff to these like Bigfoot researchers. And turns out, and this is public, it's on my YouTube channel. It's the second part of the interview, so if you want to listen to it, I'm not like, throwing Dr. Meldrum under the bus, but he literally shares a story about how he's at a cabin up in Wyoming, I believe, and he wakes up one night and there is a giant owl creature standing next to his bed.
Wow.
And I would have never thought that that story would have, like, I would have never bet that Dr. Meldrum would have a story like that. But I was like, what? This is nuts. This
You
is
could have gave
absolutely
me
crazy.
2 million
It was
guesses, and I would have never guessed him.
exactly. That's the most fun, the most original that I've received. I do, man. I get so many because I've started this thing now where on Sunday nights on YouTube I'll do this like live call-in show, and I'll just put a phone number out there. It's kind of like people say it's like old school Art Bell, but like the stuff that people are calling in with is nuts. But the most fun that just totally blew me away was definitely Dr. Meldrum talking about a giant owl man
I
creature
have to
next to
listen to
his
that.
bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's like 15 minutes too. And he talks about seeing a UFO when he was on a date as a teenager or college age. Like really weird stuff. It's awesome. So that's mine.
My best experience with Dr. Meldrum was suggesting breakfast, and he picked it. At the Ohio
Oh, what a
Bigfoot
nice guy.
Conference, I told him to get the
What a
Bigfoot
nice
bagel.
guy.
It was the best bang for your buck, and he did. No, so I think the best person, I guess for my way I phrased it, I'm going to steal this one because you stole mine last time, is our buddy Greg. So he was one of our earlier interviews.
Mhm.
He was our first in-studio interview, right?
Yep.
Because he lives 3 houses down. He
Nice.
graduated with my dad. He's been a family friend forever. He didn't know I had a Bigfoot encounter. Me and my dad had a Bigfoot encounter, and we didn't know he had one. And literally through doing the show, he kind of just came up. He's like, I didn't know you guys talk about this all the time, and do you do this stuff? And we're like, oh, yeah. He's like, well, I had an encounter. And I'm like, would you like to come on the show? He's like, yeah, if just because it's you guys, personal. I hate when it does that, but personal family friend. And he's like, so he comes in, and we go through his encounter. It's an amazing encounter. Probably one of the close, like he could have touched it. He thought it was a cow. That's the name of the episode. I thought it was a cow. Because there was cows out that previous day in the same spot. And so he's seen this big hairy creature in the ditch. So he's slowing down to get out to help get this cow back in. And it stood up, and there's a whole encounter there. Turns out, though, it was the same year I had my Bigfoot encounter.
Oh man.
Same summer, about a quarter mile away. So most likely, just from my guessing, it was probably the same individual. It was the same size, same bulk. I'm going to say it was probably the same individual because I don't think we have a whole lot of individuals in Northwest Ohio, specifically in Hardin County.
Specifically
a quarter
within-
mile away.
Yeah, within a mile. Yeah.
The same month that we probably had ours. So that's probably for that. Like just doing this show, it's so weird because we've had people reach out. Like we just recorded an Australian one this morning, so we've had people reach out from Sweden, Australia, UK. But that one, literally 3 houses that way.
Someone we both known for a long time.
Forever.
And didn't know he had something.
You got one, Jay? I took that one.
Probably, it might not be necessarily the story itself, but how we got the story was our interview with Noah.
Oh, yeah?
Just the way we're driving down in Loveland, Ohio, doing a Frogman.
Nice.
Where we go to on-location sites and we
go have fun.
Yeah, just have fun. Record some videos at the sites where things actually happened. And while doing that, we're driving around Loveland, and this guy just like pulls up beside our car, and we have big magnets on the side of our car with the podcast on it. And he's just like big, like eyes are big, and he's like looking down, pointing at it, and we're at a red light. And he rolls down his window, and he's like, "What do you even say?"
He's like, "I'm gonna call."
Yeah. And we're like, "Oh,
That's amazing.
You want a card?" And he's like, "Yeah."
We just got this brand new box of cards.
Yeah.
So first, I hop out. Sorry, I didn't mean to take
No,
it.
you're good. You're good.
So I hop out in traffic in Loveland, Ohio, and I hand him a card. But the first card I hand him was the first one in the pack, so it was blank.
Oh no.
So I had to hop back out. Lights are green.
Yeah, lights have turned green at this
And I
point.
handed him a real card, and then I don't even remember. It was 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
he finally got a hold of us.
He finally reached back out.
He's a
Maybe
very
a month,
busy man.
Maybe a month even later.
Wow.
It was wild. But yeah, really fun interview. He's really fun talk.
Oh, he's high energy. He was a ball to have on the show.
Very high energy, and I don't think he's
really great encounter.
Oh yeah, great encounter. Not something that he really wanted to publicly share too much because he was pretty hesitant about doing it. But
yeah, he definitely didn't want it connected kind of back to him. He's a businessman.
Okay, yeah.
I think I can say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's a prominent figure.
But yeah, great energy and great interview. That was really fun. It's just the way it happened.
I love those interviews.
The way it happened was funny. It was just really funny. It's like, what just happened?
It was like a Three Stooges skit.
Yeah, basically.
That's amazing.
And it led to a great interview.
And then we went and stood in the Ohio or the Little Miami River for an hour.
Yeah, talking frogman.
Picking up mussels.
Dude, I love it. That's the kind of memories that you'll remember at the end.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
You know? Yeah. That's so good.
So I think the final ball is in your court.
Okay. All right, here we go. So, what do you think the closest you've ever come to a cryptid is? And you can spin that however you want.
Okay.
You go first.
Well, yeah, because we know yours. Pretty
Do you?
much. Yeah, I would think so. Mine's probably, we found out on the show, I might have encountered the white thing.
That was weird.
No way.
Yeah, and
Tell your story, because
So,
whole thing is weird.
okay, so I was looking for my dog. My dog had run off property, and I think he was chasing a deer or something, but I had a big white chow, and so I'm driving around the country, and where we live, it's like a country block. You know, it's a mile each way, big squares plotted out, and so every mile there's, you turn right or left or straight. It's just big grid pattern. So I'm going around my block where I live looking for my dog, just seeing if I can find him. And about just a mile and a half around the corner from my house, I'm driving down this stretch of road, and about probably a good half mile in front of me, I see this big white thing run across the road. And my first reaction, oh, there's my dog. And then, as it's run across, I'm realizing, okay, that's really big to be my dog. It's not my dog, but it was big. It's about the size of a deer, I would say.
Oh, wow.
But it was white, big, long tail, and then as I got closer, I started driving faster to pull up to see it, because I at first still thinking it's kind of my dog, and I pulled up, drive all the way up there, and I looked, and it came out of a section of where there's just a little patch of woods, and there's a creek back there, but then it crossed over the road to where it's just an empty farm field for about, I don't know, good mile almost.
Probably a mile, yeah.
Yeah, just empty farm field. So I thought I'm going to see him running through that field, my dog. So I drove up, and when I looked over, there was nothing in the field at all. And so I thought that was just kind of weird, but I didn't think much about it, so I kept circling around the block and went back home, and then my dog had ended up coming back home. So my dog was already back home by the time so the thing that I seen was running the opposite way from my house. So there's no way it was my dog. And then, so thought that was just weird. I didn't really think much about it. And that was just kind of the end of it. But then it was probably 4 years later, which would be this past summer. This past summer is when I made the realization I saw something weird. Because, Justin's...
I'm in no part of this conversation at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's seen, and I don't know what this other person he's about to talk about seen.
Yes. Can I say who it was?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
he doesn't have no protection on the show.
Okay. So Justin's parents actually just bought a house right around the corner from my house, which is right around the area where I saw this thing.
Literally, the little creek that he's talking about is on their property.
Yes, it's in their backyard
wow.
now. So I was over at their house, and they were just having a fire. I stopped off to see the Great William. That's what it was. It was his birthday. It was his birthday. So I stopped there at his parents' house just to hang out for a little bit, and we were talking. And then I told him how I seen this weird thing run across the road back in the day, about 4 years before. And then his dad's like, "Huh, I seen kind of that very similar thing around the same time." With your brother, run across the road in roughly the same area, like that same half-mile stretch of road where they live now. And so I'm like, huh. So we both kind of saw the same thing and realized it was strange. And then as we're telling, so we told that story to at the people at the bowling alley where I work, and we used to hold our Bigfoot Society meetings.
Nice.
There was a guy there that he described it as a pure white fox crossing the road on that same stretch of road, on the same spot, a different time period. I was going to say,
when Jay's saying same stretch of road, he means like within the same 3 foot area.
Yeah, like
I mean, the same piece of asphalt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's seen a white fox, is what he described, running across the road. So it's just a weird coincidence, maybe, but I think we all definitely saw something. I know what I saw wasn't my dog, one. It was about the size of the deer, but it was like the details, when I try to remember it, it was hard to remember. I just remember it having long legs and a long tail.
So have you done any white thing research?
When I think of that, I think of the Alabama white thing.
So you're thinking, that's a little different.
Totally different? Okay.
So the northern Appalachian and this side of Ohio, the kind of white thing we get described is this kind of blur, sometimes the size of a polar bear. But it's it's white fur. It's really furry.
Yeah.
But it's almost indescribable. A lot of people have problems describing it.
Okay.
And I don't know they had these encounters, and we were literally getting ready to do this. Or no, we did this episode because of that.
Yeah.
But literally, it's especially like West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, the white thing that's seen here is, like, some people describe it, it's like a polar bear-shaped blob that moves really quick, and people have trouble, like, I don't know how many legs it had. I don't know if it had a head. I just know it was big, it was pure white, and it was furry.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it disappears like it's looping.
Wow.
So Jay didn't know any of that.
Right, yeah, I had no idea. I didn't even know there was a thing.
Yeah.
And then he pulled open his book. I told him, then once I had that encounter, or I had that talk with his dad. And
I wasn't there for this.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. We went back, and I told him about it. I'm like, your dad, do you know about this and your dad? And I think you knew already about your dad,
yeah,
right?
but he thought it was a dog. He didn't talk anything up. He didn't tell me. Like, he's
right.
a big white dog ran across the road. When he told you, he gave you more details.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. And it just connected dots with it. Lined up exactly with what I saw. But then Justin pulls out this book.
I'm like, it's right there. I got a book that's the white thing.
Talks all about it. I'm like, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I actually saw something and didn't even realize it.
And you were abducted.
You think I was abducted. Justin,
that's pretty wild.
He thinks I was abducted. I'm still on the fence. I don't believe it.
He was 100% abducted.
I don't think so. So I'll share that.
Our fans believe that he was abducted.
I'll share that story
real
quick.
True. If the fans are on,
That's right. When I was a little kid, I'd always stay at my grandparents' house, and the one night, I'll tell the short version. Like, I fell asleep in their bedroom, which was normal. I'd always watch movies and stuff and sleep there. And then when I woke up the next morning, I woke up in the guest bedroom across the hallway, but I was completely tucked into the bed. Like, the bed was already made, the comforter, everything, sheets tucked in under the mattress.
Couldn't move.
But I was tucked in so tight, like, I couldn't move all the way up to my neck. Just like the bed had been made and I'd been placed in there. And I thought that was weird because when I woke up, I couldn't move, and I'm like struggling I had to wriggle around just to get my arms free so I could push the covers off me, but I still had to push them off to untuck the bed to get myself actually out. And then I didn't have any of my clothes on. They were all on the floor right beside me. And I thought that was really weird.
Completely naked.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
That's
but
weird.
In my head, I used to have a lot of sleepwalking spells at that age. There were stories where I would just get up out of the house, even at their house. I would get up and just walk outside, out the door, and just go and just start walking. I had a sleepwalking story where I slept walked in a movie theater during a movie. It was all around that. That's a pretty funny one. My brothers told me that one.
And then Jay woke the day that Jay was tucked into bed. There was an owl outside the window.
That's not true. You're embellishing or adding that. But so, like, I didn't think. I thought I slept walk, and they grabbed me and threw me into bed so I wouldn't sleepwalk, and they tucked me in so I couldn't move. That was my rational thought.
Naked. They tucked him in naked.
Yeah, that was the weird part, which just odd.
How this story came to be, how I pulled this out of Jay, is we were telling the Williard UFO story. It's a famous, kind of famous, kind of not, Ohio UFO abduction that involves literally 2 kids. And the only reason the one kid that gets abducted has a story is because his brother would wake up and see what was happening.
Oh,
And
wow.
as we start telling this story, Jay's like, "Yeah, that happened to me." I'm like, "Huh?" And I tell another piece, and he's like, "Oh, that happened to me. I used to sleepwalk all the time."
Oh.
Huh? And then it happens like 6 or 7 times, and there's a clip we have saved. There's like, "Jay, you were abducted."
But, yeah, I don't know.
Like
I don't
literally,
know.
we're taking step by step with this kid's abduction, and Jay's just like, "That happened to me," and he's not saying nothing else. He's just thinking, that's not that. He's like, "That's not that odd. It happened to me. Happened to me. I used to sleepwalk across the country."
I don't sleepwalk anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because they're done with you.
Hmm.
They took all your hair.
They did. Look,
Ooh.
it's gone.
It happens.
Well, not all of it.
Right, yeah.
The
it
beards
just-
are fake.
I always, yeah. I always say it's
Prosthetic.
gravity. Gravity took a hold.
You don't believe in
There you
gravity.
go.
Went from the top. I know, ain't that funny? I don't believe in gravity, but went from the top of my head to the bottom.
I think the closest I've ever been to a cryptid, at least in the conventional sense of the word, is the Bigfoot encounter I had. I was probably 30 feet away from a Bigfoot. That's a whole big story. We'll have to get into that a whole nother time.
Mm.
But I've shared it a whole bunch. But basically, me and my brother were within 30 feet of one. Unconventional, kind of cryptid, kind of not. I was touched by a shadow person.
Oh, no.
Yeah, those freaking suck.
Oh, no.
Those suck.
They're horrible. So that's probably the closest I've been to anything, and I'm good. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, I would say that's wild. You're good for life. I'll share mine real
Yes,
quick.
please do.
So this August, I think it was, last summer I went on my first Bigfoot expedition with my buddy Tate Hieronymus. And this story is recounted, and he has a documentary series on YouTube. If you search for Sabe, S-A-B-E, there's an Iowa episode. That's what I'm about to talk about. So we go to this place in Iowa, camp out for the weekend. The second day we're there, it's getting, starting to get darker, starting to get dusk. Tate's doing things like wood knock. We're getting stuff, big tree pushed over in front of us. We're getting wood knock to the side, all sorts of weird stuff, right? It was to the point where it's like we didn't even have to leave the camp and walk around because like stuff was happening to our camp, right? But the crazy thing, the weird thing that happened is, so that Sunday night, I had a audio recorder going all night long, seven hours, right? Because there's like something's gonna happen. I want to get it on tape. So the next few weeks, I'm listening through all that audio because that takes a long time to do. Found out at 3:45 a.m. I hear. Sorry, to preface, Tate is in his truck sleeping at night. I am in my tent, all alone. Okay, 3:45 a.m. After some more wood knocks, you hear the distinct sound of a tent being unzipped. I didn't get up at all during that night. I don't remember unzipping my tent. That almost made me go insane because I was like, what happened? Was there something like a bit? I was like, Bigfoot, they don't unzip tents. That's not within the next 2 months. I, during different interviews, talked to 2 different people that had encounters where they've got a Bigfoot messing with a fellow lady researcher outside of her tent, messing with the zipper. That was creepy. Also, another guy, Randy, who got a Bigfoot messing with a zipper on tape in their cabin. So it's like, now I'm like, holy mackerel. What almost happened?
Right.
It wigged me out for a long time, guys. That's the closest
I can think of
have so
2
far.
stories that people
Really?
got pulled out.
No.
I think one was
No
on
way.
Wes's show.
No.
I can't pull out what number it is. There's only like 800 of those.
Yeah.
But It was one of the ones that really freaked me out. Is that he woke up? It was him and his dad in the tent. They woke up to the sound of the zipper coming out, and the dad kind of starts waking up, looking at his kid, and it's not a young kid. He's I don't know, 17 or something like that. Late teenager. Yeah. And he kind of, they both kind of wake up and they're looking at each other. They're in a small tent, and it just goes whoop, gets yanked out of that stupid thing. And it gets immediately let go of because the dad starts screaming. I don't know what would have happened if Dad wasn't awake also at the same time. And there was another one, I can't remember. It was on one of the big shows. It was either, Derek's, Shannon's, Wes's. Well, I can't remember. Sure. And it unzipped and was reaching, and they screamed, and it pulled back out. Mm. That's freaky. I wouldn't be in a tent. I tent camp I tent camp all the time. If that happened to me, I would not do it anymore.
No. Oh my goodness. Wow, dude, that's wild. That's a whole. That's
scary.
Layer. I mean, you just think about it. They're intelligent enough to know, like, this is what I got to grab and open up just to get in here. I mean,
it's like zip.
Yeah, and then they can just use brute force if they wanted it. They could just grab the whole tent and go with you in it. But they're curious, and I don't know, they pop it open. That's crazy.
It's like
crazy, dude.
It's just sneaky, like
yeah.
It's being discreet, and that's like what Jay's saying. Is that's what's really scary is that they know.
It is.
Did you have anything missing?
That's a really good question, actually. When I did not notice anything missing when I packed up, but that's a really good question. Yeah, nothing missing.
Who's the one?
Nothing added to the camp either.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Who's the one? I can't think I don't know if it was Les Stroud that they would keep stealing stuff out of their backpack.
Ooh.
And but they would it would be like stuff that were buried in the middle of the backpack. So they'd unzip the backpack, take stuff out, take what they wanted, put the stuff back in, and zip it back up.
Jeez. That's wild.
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
I can't remember. Is that Les? I think that might have been part of Les's stuff.
Could have been, yeah.
Les Stroud and his really unique encounters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, thank you. And that was in Iowa, you said?
Yeah, that's at a location in. I sorry, I just have to say location in Iowa.
No,
that's
fine.
Okay.
Sorry,
NDAs.
It's to respect Tate's research area. I'm sorry.
We're not.
Yeah.
Now, I'll ask this, and you can answer however you want.
Okay. Yep.
Was it near an area that is camped regularly?
Yes.
So basically what I'm getting at is I wonder if this is a behavior where they know they can get goodies out of tents.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
like Yogi Bear in it.
Yogi Bear, yeah. Where the quiet zip, grab the box of Twinkies, zip it back up. Oh gosh, that makes me think of the horrible raccoons at a Cowan Lake.
Oh gosh,
the one I hit with the axe.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I'm a man. Well, you don't know what happened to me. We had like 50 raccoons, like inside the flaps in our tent while we're in it. Me and my wife. We'd been married like 2 months, and the raccoons are like trying to get in. We have this little heat vent, and you can see their faces like looking in and stuff like that, and they just all night. Like these are psycho raccoons. So this camp had they're all dead now from the camp taking care of them.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm bad with tangents. But we're sitting around the campfire with Emily's parents and their stupid dog. And I'm only calling Charlotte stupid because we're sitting. So Charlotte has a chair. This lab has a dog lawn chair. She's sitting beside me and Emily, and then Emily's parents are crossed. Well, Emily starts like playing with the back of my leg with her foot, and I'm like, "Stop it! You know, your parents are here, whatever." And she doesn't stop, and I physically I tell her like, "Okay, Emily, stop." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Stop touching my leg." And she's like, "I'm not touching your leg."
Oh no!
And I look down. There's this little black hand petting me, and I stand up, and it's like a huge fat raccoon.
Oh no!
And I turn around, and there's like 50 of them. They're raiding our camp behind us quietly. And this
Dude,
stupid
that's
one
amazing.
is petting me.
Just trying to
To
keep you
distract
calm.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping you calm.
Shh, baby. Shh.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I hit one with an axe. Because it was 4 days of hell.
And I hit one with an axe.
They were getting
That's almost
they were
like it's like Last Stand in zombie movie type material. Dude.
they were they come right up to you. They touch obviously it was touching me, but even when you see them, they were so not scared of you that they walk right at you. So this is right by Cincinnati. So a lot of these people are city people that go camping there. I'm from Northwest Ohio. We ain't city people. I've killed a lot of raccoon in my life, fur trapping and stuff like that. I ain't scared of you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they'd puff up, and then little 4 or 5 pound raccoons. They puff up and they hiss and jump at you. And I guarantee they were used to all these city people just taking off. The first sign of teeth. I'm like, I have steel toe boots. I will kill every one of you. You're 6 pounds.
Punt.
I did kick one because it tried to bite me. And
Yeah,
it was
that's rabies, dude.
Mhm.
You don't want rabies, man.
Right.
No, they were awful, and I think Cowan Lake ended up killing 300 or 400 of them that year at the campground.
Whoa.
Good Lord.
Oh, wow.
They can be a nuisance, bad.
It's because everybody kept feeding them. And
Yeah.
I mean that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
they were so brazen.
Yeah.
We have tons and tons of raccoons up here in Northwest Ohio, but
Yeah,
they
we
do not let you see them
No, they're pretty secretive.
because they know they'll die.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But they'll poop all over everything.
But they won't let you see them.
Gosh.
And just to clarify, I never hit a raccoon with an axe. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Whoa, is that a raccoon in your room right now?
That is a dog pooping.
Okay, that's a dog. Ooh, thank goodness.
Clarice literally just pooped on the floor.
Did she?
I hate this dog. This dog is 18 years old and came with the house.
What other podcast crossover episode are you going to get a dog pooping in the room
On
live?
camera.
This is amazing.
All right, that's staying in the episode for sure.
Oh, it is. It 100% is.
Well, I want to say thank you for doing this with us. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Likewise.
So why don't you start? You promote all your stuff, and then we'll go.
Awesome. So, guys, if you've guys, gals, and pals, if you've had fun listening to this, and you're not already checking out Bigfoot Society, check out Bigfoot Society. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe. If you want to see where all the links are, you can go to BigfootSocietyPodcast.com. I do stuff on Instagram, TikTok. I said during the podcast earlier, if you like old school Art Bell, I do a live call-in show on Sunday night, 7:30 to 8:30 Central Standard Time. You can call in. You can see it live on YouTube. And I want people to call in, share your story, your weird encounter story. I've got people calling in. They've never shared their story before.
That's awesome.
But if you like interviews that have to do with cryptids, weird stuff, I'm going to start interviewing people about not just cryptids, but also things like giants, different subjects like that. I'm going to start getting out into the world of the weird. Bigfoot Society is going to change a little bit mid-December, and you're going to love it. So
Ooh.
I'll see you
Good
guys
deal.
around. Also, for my listeners, check out Cryptids of the Corn. These guys will change your life. Guys, do me a favor. Go over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe to these guys, and I'm going to take something from Tony Merkel, which is rate them 5 stars if they deserve it, which they do. And then in the comments say, hey, Bigfoot Society sent me.
There you go.
Because that's just kind of funny to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, but seriously, guys, check these guys out. They're great.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for all your listeners, like you said, you can find us on all the Spotify, Apple, pretty much all the podcast platforms we're on. I don't think we missed any. We have Facebook. We do a live coffee and cryptids show, or cryptids and coffee. It's very late here. We do a live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. unless otherwise posted. We do some evening ones too. And that's kind of like a hangout sesh we do. You just, talk about whatever. Like last week's episode was all about homestead prepping. And then what else? We got into a conspiracy at the end.
Um.
Was it? It was JFK.
Oh, that's right.
JFK assassination. So it was
That's all.
homestead prepping and JFK assassination last
Talk
week.
about everything. Anything that comes to mind. It's pretty organic.
Is very, very much. We do have YouTube, and we're starting to do some exclusive YouTube stuff. It's Cryptids of the Corn, same as everything else. We have Patreon. That's a lot of fun.
Cryptidsofthecorn.com/Patreon.
Oh, cryptidsofthecorn.com. Yeah, I built a website. Jay likes pushing it more than I do. But, yeah, we do have a website, I think. So we have all the stuff and things. And once again, our listeners, check out the Bigfoot Society podcast. It's amazing. You'll have a lot of fun. And who doesn't love Art Bell style stuff? And you said that's
true.
Sundays?
So Sunday night, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
So everybody in our, I know we have a lot of listeners in our time zone. So that's 8:30 to 9:30 here.
Yeah, Eastern
Or
Standard
8,
Time.
would you say it's 7?
Yes, you're right.
I don't know. I'm getting really tired, and it's starting not to make sense anymore.
It's all
Eastern
and
Standard
you
Time, 8:30 to 9:30. Yes.
And you can watch live on YouTube. The phone number to call in at that time is 515-809-0165, but that's all in the YouTube description that you're watching
And
live there.
don't
too.
make the mistake
Call
I
in.
did, is watch it on Facebook and comment and be like, I don't understand why nobody can see me. Or
Yeah, don't do that.
because I had a whole conversation with nobody.
Because it was already
Oh,
over.
I'm sorry.
No, I messaged you about that because me and Emily are sitting in
Yeah.
bed, and she's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm watching Bigfoot Society stuff," and I'm like, "I keep commenting, but nobody's saying anything."
Facebook sucks with the whole StreamYard
Yeah.
integration.
It's hard, yeah.
It doesn't-
All right.
Anyways,
So we have a tradition on our show. If you'd like to share it with us, anytime we have anybody on, and I know this is going to be on both of our feeds, but we like to end the episode by counting down and yelling "bye." It's just what we just. It's as loud as you can. We like to try to break the mics. Jay got close. He threw his mic across the room a couple weeks ago, and it's attached to the table, and it was impressive.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Cryptids of the Corn. Be sure to join us in the next episode where we tantalize your intellect and expand the horizons of your mind. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay magical.
Summer adventures are better with Minky Couture. From road trips to ball games, beach nights to backyard movies, Minky has you covered. Don't miss the Everywhere blanket, water-resistant, ultra-soft, and made for life on the go. Wherever summer takes you, bring comfort along. MinkyCouture.com, the original best blanket ever.
Hello, and welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful Mystery.
And I'm J Clone 604.
Bum. And you guys have been asking us, like, hundreds of emails about the Bigfoot flap in eastern Ohio. And as Ohio boys, you know, we're on the other side of Ohio, so it's still like 3.5 hours from us. Ohio's just a big square. But we thought instead of us trying to research and break it down for you, we were just going to bring on the main guy for the whole flap.
Let's go to the source.
Yeah. So Jay, why don't you introduce our amazing guest?
Alrighty. Well, if anyone is familiar with the flap, I suppose you are, if you're listening to this podcast, because you're into Bigfoot, and it was everywhere. At least last week, it was everywhere. We seen it everywhere. We are joined today by the Bigfoot Society podcast host, Jeremiah Byron. Welcome, Jeremiah.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going good. And I'd like to also, everyone, please go to, if you want to look up the
Yes.
full notes of the flap, go to BigfootSocietyPodcast.com and you can see the full write-up of the flaps, or I guess experiences, all jotted down in a nice timeline fashion. You can see everything there on BigfootSocietyPodcast.com. And check out the Bigfoot Society podcast, please.
While you're there, buy a t-shirt, join his Patreon, do it all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
All the
That's
things.
really nice of you. Nice.
No, we've been friends for a long time, and we don't get to talk nearly as much because you're probably 9 hours from us.
Oh, I would guess, yeah, because I'm out in central Iowa, so it's a bit
maybe
of a drive, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. That's a
It's
rough
fun.
drive.
An Iowa guy knows a lot more about Eastern Ohio than the Western Ohio people.
Well, true. Well, yeah, it's true. I mean,
It's
but
a whole different state when you get over there. Might
Yes.
as well be.
But it is nice seeing somebody we know that is able to, I guess, that people are willing to send the reports in, then you're willing to publish them. Where, as in, you already know in this field where a lot of reports are just never, ever get reported or see the light of day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They get locked away in some weird sighting prison, and, well, we'll leave that there.
I was going to say, don't say a name.
I'm not going to say it.
No, I'm
I
not
know
worried
how
about
this
you.
goes, guys.
I'm not
Don't worry.
worried about you. I'm worried about him.
I'm not saying no names. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm not even pointing anyone out in particular. I just know there's a lot of
I get
people
enough
have
death threats.
people have enough experiences on their own where they don't share it at all.
Yeah.
Let alone report it to somebody. But it's nice having an outlet that receives reports that we can just go up and talk to, or that's willing to just share it. Like, that's refreshing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to definitely make sure that credit is where credit is due for this, because if it hadn't been for the Bigfoot mapping project, this would not have all started, because that's where the original report was posted.
Everybody, download the Bigfoot Mapping Project app.
I think it's only a few bucks, a couple bucks.
Yeah. And it's a one-time purchase, I believe.
Yeah. As far as I understand,
I've never been charged again for it.
Mr.
so.
Jake Dressel is always telling me
Yeah.
about it. And
Jake is the
Ooh,
biggest
that's
promoter for that.
He is.
He's like,
Jake's
hey,
a
give me
good
your.
dude.
He's like, give me your phone.
Oh,
Give me your
yeah.
phone. Let me download that
He'll
for you.
download it for you. Give you a couple bucks. Here, I'll buy it too.
I'll buy it for you.
He swiped his card on me, and I was like, "Whoa, buddy!
Whoa.
It's already had it.
It's where we draw the line.
Downloaded it 6 times.
Give
on
me your
phone.
hat now." But anyways,
But I shared a little story with Jeremiah before we got rock and rolling, and I'll share it again. Like I said earlier, we got a lot of emails about this, and it's just so much easier having you on because, like, you're the forefront of it. And when this was starting to pop off, for everybody, I can't remember. It was the local Fox affiliate, so probably Lima. And there you are. You're on TV, and I'm like, I know that guy. Like it's crazy to have a Bigfoot podcaster coming on, and what we found out was national. From you telling us, you did the interview with the Fox affiliate Cleveland, right?
Right. Yeah. So on the 9th, I think it was the 9th, I started doing all these Cleveland interviews, and then those started getting pushed out to their networks, and then it started showing up on New York Post, and Stephen Colbert made a reference to it, and Rogan was talking about it, and thank goodness he didn't say my name of the podcast name, because I wouldn't have been able to, I can't imagine how much crazier that would have been. And then, there was even, I did an interview with the New York Times, and I don't know if that's going to be published, but I did talk to a reporter from the Times, which was wild. It's a wild experience.
That is, and amazing, but insane as far as, a Bigfoot cryptid podcaster that now you're, talking to the New York Post and Fox, and you're on your stuff's being talked about on Joe Rogan and all
Right.
that. That's crazy that it's been this maelstrom for you. And I'm very happy it was you, and you deserve it. And you don't have to tell numbers, but did you see a bump?
And I do want to preface that for your listeners, because I'm sure a few of them are like, oh, this guy really was working the system. No, guys, it was not like that. And we're going to go into the story later, and I'm going to just tell you all how it went down and how this is just what I've been doing for years, and the algorithm went buckaroo banzai. And so here's an example. The Facebook page for Bigfoot Society, on the 10th, got 1.8 million page views.
Woo!
And I saw that and I was like, that's not real.
That's too many
and
zeros.
I was like, oh, that's real. Those are real numbers. Like it was like internet. It got to India and the UK. Like it was international.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like
It's awesome though, but I think it's just a testament to being consistent and I don't know, putting all your effort into it. I think that's what just happens naturally. It'll explode eventually. Like it just will. I think well deserved.
like you said, you've been doing this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A long time. So it's not like you're clout chasing or anything like that.
No, definitely.
It's
I've
hard
been doing
work
this since
February
of 2019. So pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard work that you put forward, and like you said, you caught the algorithm, and then it gets shared to here and it gets shared to there, and it's in India.
And I wanted to say too, because we mentioned this on our show the other day.
Oh, we did give you another big shout out the week before this.
Thank you.
Well, people were asking
so that
us.
was it. That shout out from you guys probably was just like
I got you that little bump, right? That $1 million view a day, whatever. I don't indefinitely. But people have been ever since all your reports started coming out, they were asking us, sharing it on our page, asking us our opinion and whatnot. Is this real? Like, what's going on? And then that's when I first seen it. I seen your podcast attached to Bigfoot Society podcast, like the orange symbol. I'm like, I know who that is. Clicked on the video, and for sure enough, it was you. You were the one sharing it. It wasn't somebody, I guess, sharing your reports. You're the guy. You're doing it. So I'm like, okay, I know who this is. Like, well, let's see at his notes. And what I guess conclusion I pulled from it was this is just Bigfoot sightings. This is just what happens when people see them. You just happen to be the guy that people feel comfortable and trusting to report their sightings to, and then you're publishing it. I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary or crazy Bigfoot behavior, to say the least. I think it's just finally being reported, and then the mainstream actually took notice of it for once.
Yeah, I would agree. And also a big part of it, it's so many things together. It's one, the TikTok algorithm, and then the entire social media culture we live in, plus the news picking it up. But the main thing that people are really focusing on is like how it is. It's really like a flap of sightings in a way that hasn't been seen since like let's say, for example, the 1978, when you had all of that things going really across the nation. And even in Ohio, in Northeast Ohio, you had quite a bit of activity in that year. And so there's a few other things, and we'll probably talk about theories later on. And the researcher I'm working with, Glenn Adkins, has probably the best theory of why this happened too, and it just blew my mind when I heard it. So,
ooh, stay tuned.
I was going to say,
ooh.
What do you want to start? I guess telling us about
totally
the sightings and how they came in for you and everything.
Let's get into it. So here we go. So it's important to point out that when I make social media posts for Bigfoot Society, I will usually look through online Bigfoot sighting databases. Whoa, that was weird. Databases outside of what I get. And sometimes, like, I love the Bigfoot Mapping Project. The BFRO is another good one. The NAWAC website is good. So I just happened to see one that was super recent on the Bigfoot Mapping Project. And it was Manaway Center, Ohio. And there was an individual that had a sighting on the 6th. And the info from that report was that this individual was hiking in this area, saw a large bipedal cryptid, or Bigfoot, which 9 foot tall, brown, standing around 120 yards from him, and started moving away fast. So there's that. So I was like, okay, so usually I'll make a video, and then it's like maybe a few people will comment, and then life as usual, right? And so the next day I got someone hit me up on TikTok and was like, it's weird. On the 7th, same area, we had a sighting too. And so I was like, okay, this is weird. So 7th, same area, this individual was out walking around, I believe with his buddies. They were walking a trail near the edge of the woods. They hear heavy footsteps deeper in the trees. They're like, is it a deer? The steps were slow, spaced out, and much heavier. So they're like, it's got to be something. Then they notice movement about 50 yards away, something tall stepped between two trees, 7 to 8 feet tall, covered in dark brown hair. And then they hear a dark grunt before it steps back into the trees. And I'm like, okay. So I make a video about that. I'm like, my thing is, I'm collecting the reports, and then sometimes I make videos about them, right? So there's that. That's not really too weird yet, but it was the next day, the 9th, where things got weird. So, I'm doing my podcast work. I checked the Bigfoot mapping project. I noticed, there's a new sighting in Garrettsville, which is a few miles east of Manaway Center, and it's 10:20. So this has just happened recently. And I look at it, I was like, that's weird. Okay. Someone was walking through the woods. They saw what they say was an 8-foot tall black Sasquatch looking creature. They got scared. So I was like, okay, let's get the news out about this. And then that's when stuff started to get pretty intense. An hour. So actually it was 12:47 midday. An individual reached out. He was like, hey, I was just outside 11:47 a.m. Me and my buddy, this is an anonymous guy. He's like, I got to be anonymous. In Garrettsville, we had a sighting of something and at this point, I'm like, okay, this is not normal. I've never had this happen in 7 years. Like, something is starting to happen. So I was like, can I have your phone number so I can call you to talk to you? So I get the guy on the phone. He's like, I got to be anonymous. He's emotional. He's wound up. He's like, yeah, we were on this trail, Headwaters Trail around Garrettsville. And so he tells about how for 10 to 15 seconds they had an encounter. They saw what was, they said was a 10-foot tall, black-haired creature. And so I was able to ask him, because I had him on the phone. I was like, hey, did you notice anything weird when you're looking at this thing? And so he's like, well, it grunted at us, but when it grunted at us, it turned its head towards us, and it was weird because it didn't move its neck. Like, it had to move like the shoulders too. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, here we go. And I was like, was there anything else weird, like about the way it was moving? Anything that you noticed? And he's like, well, it looked like it was almost on stilts, which is really weird the way. And he was like, so it was moving around. So there's that. Now we're still on the 9th, putting the news out. And then now I'm starting to get things in my email, because at this point, like, I'm trying to keep things organized by making maps. And you can see the final map that's public on BigfootSocietyPodcast.com. So I have a map out there with my email on it, like, contact me. The algorithm's starting to kick in. And then, so this individual reaches out. This is an hour. So it happened at 6 p.m. An hour later, they reach out to me on the 9th. And so this female individual, and her mother was in her house in Wyndham, was looking outside the window as she usually does, and she sees what she reports as a 6-foot tall brown creature walk out of the wood line, her neighbor's wood line, and then walk across and go back into the woods. The funny thing is that she's a skeptic. She doesn't believe in Bigfoot. And then she's like, I know what I saw, but I don't know what I saw. Like, it's messing with her head, right? And so the day before, and I'll put this footnote in real quick because it's important. A gentleman named Glenn Adkins, who's a local researcher, reached out to me and just sent a simple email. And he's like, hey, I'm Glenn Adkins. I'm a local Bigfoot researcher. If you need help, just talk to me. And so I contacted him immediately because I recognized the name. And I was like, man, at this point, I got to have people start to check it out, see what's going on, do a follow-up, because something weird is happening here, right? This isn't normal. So when I get the Wyndham report, I'm able to contact Glenn minutes after I talked to this individual, and he was headed to Headwaters with his team. But I was like, no, go to Wyndham. And so he's like, and like they go over to Wyndham, check things out. They're able to interview the witness face to face. So we got that. then I'm going to go through this chronologically because a few days later, I get another report on the 9th, and this is over in Streetsboro, which is further west a bit. There was this lady, anonymous lady, and her daughter driving down the road from Streetsboro to Hudson. What they say is that they're driving down the road by Tinker's Creek. They see what looks like a 6.5 foot tall brown Sasquatch walking down pretty much their lane of traffic towards them. They have to swerve out of the way. The daughter's like, pretty much I could have put my arm out the window and hit it as we went by. The weirdest thing they said is she was like, I looked at its face. It almost had a blurry face. And she was like, it's the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. And that's a new one for me too.
Yeah.
She said it also had a weird way of walking, almost like it was on stilts. So I thought that was weird too. Now, if you look at the map, all these so far, they're all moving east. And then, as we'll see next, the next day on the 10th, so we're on March 10th, they start to go southeast. So now we're in Newton Township. This gentleman sends me a quick email in the morning, and I'm just looking at my email like crazy. And so, because there's a lot of like AI generated stuff and old photos, but I'm able to do like reverse image search on Google. And so I'm like weeding out the stuff that's fake pretty quick, thankfully. And so this guy, I'm like, this sounds like I should follow it up. So I get his phone number, and then he tells me how at 4 a.m. he's got a German Shepherd. He goes to the door to bring the Shepherd outside, German Shepherd outside. The door opens. The German Shepherd freaks out, lunges towards the wood line. The guy looks out there, and he's like, there was something that was a tall, shadowy, dark figure. This guy is like shook up emotionally. He's like, I got to stay anonymous. I don't want anything about my name to get out, like very super adamant in a way that I've only heard from like face-to-face Oregon witnesses, like really intense. And so he's like, yeah, I've got bear on my property, but I don't have what I saw back there was like 9 to 10 feet tall. He was like, it was extremely massive. He was able to get the dog in eventually. And he said, once the dog was inside, it just wouldn't stop shaking. And it was just an emotion, like it was a wreck. Right. And it had never acted like that. So the last public one was the same day, and this was a anonymous individual at Lake Milton, which is further south. Yeah, and so what we've got going on here is another, let's say, older lady looking out the window of her house. She notices that there is a 7 foot tall, rust colored or brownish red colored creature that is about 200 feet away from her house. She's looking through the window. It was going towards her pond, went under a tree in the underbrush, and then disappeared into the woods. And I was like, did it just vanish or did it disappear into the woods? And so she's like, it did not vanish. It just, I couldn't see it as it went into the woods. And I was like, okay, cool. She was like, it didn't seem like no deer. She was very adamant that it wasn't a deer. And I asked, I was like, how do you know this wasn't a deer or bear? And she was like, one, it's because of the color. But the main thing was like, it had big, fat, round arms, and it was extremely muscular. And like, she could tell that. She was very, I asked, hey, have you gone out and checked? And she's like, man, I've been too busy. I haven't been able to go out. So, yeah, I mean, that's the last public one. At this time, Glenn and I came up with the same realization, which is Glenn's trying to check out these areas. And if public information is being put out, these areas are just getting slammed. And at this point, we've got Bigfoot researchers from all over the U.S. now in this small part of Ohio. And so I'm like, okay, Glenn, here's what we do. And he's like, yeah, I've got the same idea. So if something passes the sniff test and then I get a phone number and I contact them, and then it's like, yeah, it sounds good. And then I ask, hey, would you talk to my local researcher? And they're like, yes. Then I move it on to Glenn. And so Glenn is a great individual because he was a 10-year protege of Robert W. Morgan, which is, if you know Bigfoot, if you're a Bigfoot nerd, you know how cool that is. And also he's a retired law enforcement individual, among many other things. So this guy knows how to do investigations, and he's the perfect guy for the job. And so we may not be hearing more things publicly at this time, but there are things that Glenn is looking into that are very interesting. I would say the reports at this point have stopped coming in, but Glenn is still investigating stuff that came in after the 10th. So that's pretty much the story as it lays right now, guys.
I got a lot of notes, and I know you got a lot of notes.
Me too. And I'm just going to, since you just said it right there, right at the end there, I guess as a, because we're just, armchair researchers, us, Justin and I,
we don't leave this room.
We're not boots on the ground researchers. We like hearing the stories, and we like talking about them, and we like sharing our opinions from a biologist standpoint and a bowling alley mechanic standpoint, But when you were sharing your reports online, I seen like a divide within the within the Bigfoot community. It was just like kind of people were saying, well, it's, I don't know. It just seemed there was a positive and negative. I seen where it was good, it was all out there, and then I seen the exact opposite where they're like, why is he sharing all this out there? Because now it's just ruining any investigation going on. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, this is, I guess I'm getting a little upset or emotional, but I guess I just see it where people, I don't understand why it isn't a good thing to show people and tell people, like, this is real. This stuff that we all talk about, it's not just...
It's happening right now.
It's happening right now in real time. It's a real thing. And in order for the public to understand, it's not just like a made-up fairy tale. Like, we're only, a small portion of 1% of 1% of people are out there actually looking for it. This is a great thing for the mainstream to realize, this is a real phenomenon. We're not just all in here telling stories and, just enjoying that with it. And so I don't know, where do you draw the line about sharing reports and being a boots on the ground investigator researcher and just keeping the information within those people? Because I think both are great and both are problematic.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a really good discussion that's going on right now. So because it's this situation is almost in a way different than how I usually view things with my podcast, which is when I'm looking at things on the podcast and I'm, interviewing someone for the show, I'm doing that so I can help individuals work through, like, if they have trauma and, getting their story out to other people so they can realize, hey, someone else has experienced what I've experienced and they can work through their stuff. And there's a lot of really interesting discussion, and to be honest, I'm not getting involved with it just because, there's just some really intense discussions right now, and I can get the point. But I think that, I'm trying to think of how even to say this.
It's tough.
Well, I'll say this for you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I think you did everything right. I know anything in the Bigfoot community is going to be split.
Always.
I don't
Absolutely.
I don't care if everybody could do everything right, but people for years have complained about the lockbox sighting, like, places, or it gets locked away for 10 years, and that I think you did fine, because this created, like Jay was saying, a national buzz.
It was intense, guys.
But
like a circus.
But for all the people, like Jay was saying, that maybe are fence riders or maybe seen one, like I do have comments about that. It makes him, first off, it's going to make a lot more people from all around, like you already seen, come forward. Where
I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, it's because, okay, I'm not crazy. There 18 people seen one in Northeast Ohio, or 6, but and they're talking about it on Fox and Joe Rogan and all these places.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
So the important ones,
I think, as far as research, boots on the ground, once again, I did endangered species surveys. That's what I did for a living. And I think Sasquatch, the flesh and blood Sasquatch, is always going to be an extremely hard challenge for surveying and research as far as that, because they're so intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And I have plenty of friends that work with big cats. Arguably you can say is the most intelligent endangered species that we're dealing with, that actively are hiding from us besides, the more cryptozoological animals. And they'll be hidden. You have a cat with a collar, a radio collar on it, 30 feet from you. You know where it is, and you still can't find it. So
Wow.
having Bigfoot researchers go out there, I don't think it ruined the scene. I just don't, because there have been hundreds of people looking for thousands of years at this point.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so let them go out and look. I don't think it ruins anything. It's not like a missing kid search.
Right, exactly. Because I was going to say the exact same thing as, we've had Bigfoot researchers, let's just say for 100 years now at least.
At
least.
Sure.
I mean, they've been there longer. I mean, people knew about it longer, well before that. But let's just say the hardcore modern researchers as we know today has been around at least that long, and we don't got nothing still.
For Bigfoot,
Not yet.
Not yet. So why not get more people involved? Why not open it up a little bit instead of keeping it so lock and key so we can investigate it? How about there's other people out there that can investigate things as well. It doesn't have to be their local expert that has to be the only one that's allowed to see anything. You know what I mean?
And we've met Glenn. I was looking at pictures of him.
His name sounded very familiar.
I think we met him maybe with
He's
B.
a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we met him at Hocking Hills.
Which one? The first?
The Bigfoot Festival.
Okay, the big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so just in my humble opinion, I think you did right. I think you did good.
Same.
And me and Jay talked about this before. We've seen praise and attack of how things were handled. And I think you did great.
Mm-hmm.
If that matters at all.
Thank you. Let's leave it at that. I mean,
you don't have to give an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just doing the same thing I've done for years. So, I'm just going to stick with that.
Yeah.
And just in the Bigfoot community, no matter what way you do it, somebody's going to
raise a stink.
The greasy wheel, or what is, not the greasy wheel, the squeaky wheels are the ones that you hear. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, that's the wrong saying for that. But
it might be. It might be.
Where's Clarice?
That's like the opposite. What you're, the one you're going for.
Do you want to do one of your notes, or do you want?
Actually, I did have a question for the March 6th sighting. The one at midday. You said the sighting was by MTCR member. What is that?
Isn't that the military?
No. Well, so that's a good question. So
I looked it up as something like missile. I didn't know if that was actually it or not, though.
From what I know, the individual has some kind of cryptid research organization in Manaway,
and that's what that is.
Oh,
yeah,
Okay,
that one I was not able to investigate really thoroughly. Let's just say, and it was a thing where it's one of the BMP ones too.
Gotcha. Well, that's what I thought. It was some kind of cryptid research, but I couldn't find it in the old almighty Google. But it kept bringing up some missile.
Did you think it was our buddy?
Training? No, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was really weird, so I just figured I'd ask you it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. So, to the woman, okay, you took better notes than I did. You always do. To the woman that was having trouble
reconciling.
Thank you. Reconciling with seeing Bigfoot. I'll put this out there, and I shared this on Jeremiah's show years ago now. When I seen my Bigfoot, I still didn't believe in Bigfoot for 3 more years. And I seen one. And it just in my head the whole time, it's like they don't exist. I don't know what I saw, but it wasn't, they don't exist. What did I see? I don't know. And then shows like Finding Bigfoot and Mountain Monsters, I always praise those kind of things because those, at least for my part of Ohio, like it was the only kind of influence we had for a long time of anything Bigfoot, like publicly. I know Eastern Ohio. I mean, you can go to Walmart at Hawk or at Logan, and they got an 18-foot tall mural of Bigfoot painted on it and stuff like that.
Oh, sweet.
And or in Western Ohio, we don't until recently, relatively last 10 years, I'd say. It really wasn't nothing. Like, you didn't see Bigfoot cutouts. You didn't see...
I mean, it was just sprinkled.
Rare. I mean,
like,
10 years ago?
Like...
Rare.
Rare, yeah. Sprinkled in the middle of nowhere, driving down back roads. You'd see one every now and then.
So I just wanted to say that lady reminded me a lot of, like, when I see one. You can see one of these things and still walk away being like, I don't know what I saw. Like, leave me alone. Like, because your brain is trying to defend itself of shock. And we talk a lot about how the brain lies to you and how the brain will do all these things to protect itself from trauma, and that would be
it really does.
And that could be emotional trauma. With a shifting of worldviews can be very traumatic to your psyche. So yeah, all right, there's mine.
Oh, my turn again?
Yep.
Okay.
Mine are a little out of order, but
I had on the March 9th sighting where they said they turn and the whole torso to look back at the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just gave me Patty from Patterson Gimlin film like vibes. Just that whole turn.
It did, yeah. That like stiff. That was the stiff neck one.
Yeah, the
Or
stiff
it didn't
neck.
move. It just turned the shoulders.
Turn the torso to look back at him. So I thought of that, but then so I started looking at all of them, and I wrote down just kind of like the what do you say, the bookmark kind of.
Like the cliff notes?
The cliff notes, but like the main sightings, if you like could compile all the Bigfoot sightings together, you always get like, not always, but you can boil it down to like
there's
certain
averages.
Yeah. So I wrote down
okay.
the rhythmic footsteps, one person heard and what they felt or saw, the vibrating grunt, and then followed up by the forest silence. That's a very common Bigfoot.
It really is, yeah.
I mean, that's common with a lot of large predators too.
We talk about
that a lot.
But I'm just,
that's to me, I guess, saying something real.
Right.
That you can kind of look at that in nature.
That's what I've been going down all the sightings with. Musky odor was reported by another one. And then, like you said, the impossibly long strides. We've heard that tons of times. I mean, a lot of people that had sightings or Craig, yeah, that shared their sightings with us, shared a lot of the same kind of details with these separate results. So when you're reviewing, I guess, reports coming into you, how do you determine, when to take one, I guess, how does it pass your sniff test? Because
we know,
good question.
We know
plenty of people, huh? Oops, hold on. Yeah, we had a break for a second, but.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm back.
But how do you determine,
I was going to say, should he tell us, though, if he's still actively doing this stuff?
I guess I didn't mean not just from this
I think
flap.
I can because it's, yeah. And so the main reason, guys, or the main thing was that, so I was getting hundreds and it was like a brand new thing. I'd never really dealt with it before on the podcast, but you could blatantly tell that people were using like a AI like ChatGPT and just like give me a really detailed Bigfoot report, and there were like M dashes everywhere, and it's like Bigfoot did this, not this, or like, you know what I mean? Like how it's got that way of talking. And I was like, oh, and I saw it over and over and over, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of garbage coming in right now. Yeah.
So it's mostly just like a gut feeling.
Yeah, you kind of
been doing it long enough.
Yeah, you've seen enough, and that's really the most I think I want to get into it. But as what you made a good point is you don't want to, I guess, give it all away. But the main thing was like if you see something that's made by ChatGPT, you can see it pretty good.
Yes,
have
you
a
can
good
recognize
day.
it.
Yeah,
that's the only email reply.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I really want to talk about the blurry face.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Which encounter was that? I didn't take good notes.
So that's the Streetsboro one.
Okay.
On let me bring up my.
We have a listener in Streetsboro.
Ooh, all right.
Monday, March 9th, around 8 p.m. The cool thing is that I was able to set up an interview that hasn't come out yet with an individual that lives in the same area, and he shared with me his sightings and experiences that happened also in Manaway in Streetsboro, but closer to the year 2000. And so he was able to verify that, yeah, this same Tinkers Creek area, he's also experienced some weird stuff over there as well. So more to come on the podcast there. But yeah, man, I'm not sure what to think about that whole, like, here's some more details about that. Actually, this does get even weirder now that I think about it. So they reported that it looked like it had a blurred face, no eyes that they could see. It was all like brown hair around the face, but the facial hair was lighter than the rest of it. And the facial features were really not spread out. So that's like that's some stuff that I don't hear a lot. Like, that's pretty unique stuff there.
You know, okay. Go. Sorry. Reminds me of another story that I have written down.
Okay. But, so yeah, I am, as you said earlier, you know, there's a lot of data in this, and as I decompress from this and get more time back into my day, I am pretty much making sure that the final report is on Bigfoot Society podcast. I think it's under the blog section, and that's where like the final map is. And I need to make sure that everything is there for future people to reference. So yeah,
you're doing your due diligence.
Exactly. Good way to put it.
Do you have one, or you want me to go again?
I mean, I'm just curious about what they freaking saw when the blurry face. I don't know.
So that almost makes me think of. Do you remember when we did Momo?
Maybe
Missouri Monster.
Yeah, but what specifically?
Okay, this whole case. Now, unless I'm getting it mixed up with Big Muddy, but it reminded me a lot of Momo after he started talking, where there was the two different sizes, like two different colors being seen. The big white one didn't have a face.
Oh yeah, okay.
It just had like little like hair over its face,
like Cousin It.
Like Cousin It.
Yeah.
And it was tall but lanky. Like, it wasn't like the big filled out big. The other one was. It was shorter though. It was like 6 or 7 feet tall, but it was built like a normal or the average Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the old, or what we talked about in our episode, the old one was this tall, lanky one.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of compared it to why there were so many sightings and so much weirdness happening. It was almost like a grandpa trying to wrangle his grandkid, and because they were seen together in some spots. And then they were seen one after the other. And when they came out of that abandoned house's basement together. We did this a while ago. Do you remember any of this?
Vaguely, like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Momo.
You're like,
I think it's Momo. Yeah.
But when you started talking about this, that's just like the littler one and the bigger one. And I'm not saying it's exactly the same by any means, but it just, like you said it earlier, like, this is the first time we're documenting one of these big flaps like this since the 70s. And was Momo the 60s or the 70s?
Oh gosh,
I think early 70s.
I don't know,
but yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, it really, like, a really short closure, because I think Momo was only like 4, maybe even 5 days, and had all those sightings.
72.
I was right on it.
He was right on it.
Where it was like, just this short range, ton of sightings. At least 2 different Sasquatch being seen, and some, like the one lady was one, and then 15 minutes later, the other one came out of the river right after it. And she thought, like, so just this weird, I don't know. It just reminded me a lot of Momo. Just those.
That's really cool. Yeah. No one's made that connection yet. That's pretty cool, man.
But, I mean, yeah, I only remember chunks of it, but
I mean, if it's
really interesting,
or I guess similar sightings, it's something to take note of, I guess.
Now, Everybody, there was only one, was there only ever one creature in this whole flap seen at one time, right? Different sizes, but
that
only
is a
one.
solid question. Yeah, they just one at any given time, but they are reported as having different colors and different heights.
Right. But no one ever seen actually two at once.
No, that I can't imagine, man. If that had happened, that area would have just
Exploded.
gone absolutely wild.
It
was at the tipping point, and that was part of. I was like, man, if like it was getting so intense, and I was hearing like you hear those stories about people driving around in trucks. Like I was starting to hear those stories of like, all right, we're driving around in trucks and looking
hunting
for
for
Bigfoot. And yeah.
The Grafton Monster did nothing to nobody, and the exact same thing happened.
Yeah.
For anybody listen to a Grafton Monster episode, it's only like 40 minutes long because it was seen twice, and the newspaper guy that seen it regretted it because there was 400 people out there with shotguns the next day chasing this thing down, trying to blow it away. It did.
My goodness.
It did nothing.
That's just human nature, though.
Yeah, they're like, a big
It really
hulking
is.
beast
Might be able to eat it.
that whistles.
Ooh,
Death.
even better, yeah.
It was
Van
looking
meter
for you.
visitor too. That happened
Oh,
out
yeah.
here. Yep. Posse time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Which
just
I'm
like,
not saying should happen. I want to clear that for just because I'm sure people will hear that weird. I'm not saying that should happen ever. So
No,
I mean, unless it's killing people or
yeah, unless it's actual beast.
like, I guess the only one I can really think of in modern quote unquote times was maybe some of the folk stuff when it was getting kind of wild, like actually like into windows and barns and like knocking people. Like that one, we've talked about that though. I always thought it had rabies,
Or
but it was starting to get like
or if like a Portlock incident happened in like
Portlock. I mean,
Portlock or Honubby.
people are getting. Oh yeah, the siege of Honobia or not.
Honobia. That was in Oklahoma.
Honubby.
Oh, Honubby. Okay.
You got to say it right because they really
Is that Oklahoma?
like that. It's Oklahoma.
Uh-oh,
Southeast Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oh,
we've said it wrong many a time.
Oh yeah, Honobia.
about it.
That's why they never answered the email.
Ah, they were sour.
Yeah, because we tried to vend at the festival and they never responded.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah,
We weren't ready for it, is what that means.
like say it right.
Yeah. Next.
I even spelled it wrong in the email, probably. But no, I mean, it really is like one of the 60s and 70s like flaps in modern day, which is amazing, which is awesome. I have three more notes. Do you want to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. First one, dog shaking after it came in. Did that remind you of anything?
I'm sure, yeah. A lot of stories.
Well, mine was Sonny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
Where he was paralyzed, this big, powerful, and he was just sitting there shaking on the ground. Clarice was there.
Right, the dog that pooped on the floor last
The
interview.
dog that pooped on the floor for Jeremiah last time.
It's a callback to our last episode, guys.
Yeah.
Go check
Clarice
it out.
was there for the Bigfoot.
She's the through line.
She just died.
Yep. And then
Rest
all
in
these
peace.
flaps happened.
It's her ghost.
Oh, wait, she died like 2 years ago.
Was
it last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah, because she died when we were going ice fishing.
Feels longer. Okay. Sad.
The stilt walking. Could you explain that again on that one sighting?
Yeah. So, and man, that's where I wish I could have been like there
Yeah.
talking to the witness and like, can you try to do it? And so I've thought of that a lot, and I'm thinking maybe what they were trying to say is it looked like how someone is on stilts, like they're tall and maybe they're leaning forward. I don't know. It's such a weird thing to describe like that. And I've heard a lot of over 1,000 reports, and I've never heard that used. It's so weird, man.
It almost made me think of stiff legs.
Yeah.
Or,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's just when you said it. That's but it made me think of it. When you see somebody like wearing pants with stilts, their leg doesn't move.
Or it
and they have that
bends.
weird stride.
It has a weird bend because it's not where, even if they're stretched out, like the knees should proportionally be.
But like, I mean, Jeremiah's probably right where it's that. It could be that lean too of just that like forward.
Or it's just what we think of when we see something tall walking on 2 feet. It's just
Guy.
that's just guy on stilts. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
An Ohio
could be.
Giant.
Yeah.
It was TJ.
The Ohio Giant.
The Ohio Giant.
TJ, are you listening to this? Was this you?
He's walking back home from
Mhm.
Cleveland.
It could be.
Oh.
And then I've done a fish survey in Lake Milton.
Oh, was that per your notes?
Yeah, that's one
nice.
of my notes. I've actually been to Lake Milton. When he said it, I had to look it up. And yeah, I believe we got sand darters in one of the headwaters there.
Wow.
State-
Maybe that's what he was after, the sand
State
darters.
endangered.
See?
Could have been. Yeah.
I will tell you though, because I do want to get into theories. I'm sure I'm really excited for yours. But from the Lake Milton survey and that headwater survey, there's some of the cleanest water in Ohio is in that area.
Actually, that is important.
Some of
Wow.
the cleanest springs and cleanest headwaters.
Well, that just brings some new theories to mind.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because we've done like talks about when we do some of the Sasquatch stuff for like Hocking Hills, for example, we did this the first year.
Mhm.
Talked about basically when we tackle Bigfoot, we get rid of the word Bigfoot and just use large mammal. And because I've done plenty of surveys for large mammals, elk and bear and everything like that. And if you just like your map and everything like that, people that have not had the sight of the paranormal or the supernatural or the cryptozoological, where they just don't have that kind of baseline interaction with that part of the world. And they see a map that says Bigfoot, everybody, 8 Bigfoot sightings here.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, everybody's on crack or drunk or, I hate the drunk thing. I hate that when people say that because the Hopkinsville Goblin thing, one of my daughters actually middle name is after that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Because,
But you like when people are on crack. That's
but no,
that one you're okay with.
because she was a God-fearing woman. Now you got me on it.
Man.
She was a God-fearing woman that wouldn't even allow swearing in her house, let alone drinking.
What a
And
drunk.
They immediately wrote him as they were all all
Right.
drunk on moonshine,
Yeah.
and that's why that never
Yeah, it's
happened. But now I lost my train of thought.
Clean headwaters.
So if you take your reports that you got, your map, it makes sense. I just want to say that to everybody. You just get rid of the word Bigfoot for the non-Bigfoot people. If, as a biological point of view, you can start seeing stuff with following creek patterns and fresh water and clean environments and forest
sure.
coverage. It's in the green highway. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, I'm sure probably a lot of our longtime listeners know what the Green Highway is. But it's Eastern Ohio has what's called the Green Highway, where from Southern Ohio all the way up to Northern Ohio, where you can get into Pennsylvania, New York, and you can get back up around the Great Lakes. And besides highways, you can pretty much walk in tree cover the whole way up. And so yours, where you have this, is right at the top of the Green Highway.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And just talking about a biological point of view, we see it like you're like one of the guys that's seen a lot of bears on his property and stuff like that. It's because that's some of the last bit that have the hard mat. It's called hard mass forest cover. Hard mass is like acorns and that kind of stuff. It's a food source. So you don't see a lot of these large mammal populations without hard mass because it's a seasonal food source that they need to get by because it's a super dense like fat. We like eating like peanut butter. Like peanut butter is just fat and protein.
So good.
But like acorns have a lot of protein in them and stuff like that.
Acorn butter.
I've never had it, but so I just wanted to say that as a
I heard
compliment and credibility to this is that if you got rid of the word Bigfoot, you could say this is elk. You could say this is bear. It makes sense for any large mammal to kind of be following the patterns and the sightings. And then the one in the highway, do you think that was that? Now I don't want to mix him up. Was that a daytime sighting or a night sighting?
That was specifically at 8 p.m. local time on Monday, March 9th.
So that'd have been dark
The
and
twilight area.
Yeah, that'd have been-
Air. Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
not okay. So I mean, that could be. So I'll say this with organisms with like the lucem organ in their eyes, dusk and dawn are the hardest times for them to see.
That's the hardest time when I drive.
Well, yeah, because you're trying to run them down.
Well, no, I just mean I can't see.
Well, yeah. So animals that have night vision, they struggle with the dawn dusk time periods because their eyes are trying to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever watched The Reign of Fire, the dragon movie? They talk about that. Where that's the only time they can attack the dragons.
Oh,
They got like a half-hour window every day. That's the only time their fire breath is kind of like off.
okay.
Ooh, make it count.
Yeah.
But no, it's just interesting to me that you start seeing a lot of this, because that one was a weird one to me until you just said the time. Where, well, that would make sense, like the twilight, and it's, moving around, because that was one of the shorter ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it happened as literally just as they're driving past it. So it was, let me double check. I did not get a duration time on it, but I mean, literally they're just driving by. And
I meant height. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, height would be
6 foot, I thought you said on that one.
6.5 foot tall.
So
Yeah. Okay.
Perceivably a younger one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so, yeah.
Stunted one, maybe.
There you go. Big eyes and stunted.
Yeah. Too much coffee as a kid.
But, I mean, I'm up for either way. I really want to hear your theories on it. I mean,
All right.
I know we have our theories, but I really want to hear yours first.
So let me run through what I've heard, and I will then tell you what my favorite one is. I've heard a lot. I've heard everything from are they fleeing from something, or are they going towards something? Maybe this is a mating year and they're trying to get to a certain area. I think it was Ashley Hilt that was like, hey, the mushrooms are starting to get into season, which is a cool theory, because she's taken reports from this area for the last few years. Some people were like, well, we just had those weird tornadoes. The weather is weird right now, so maybe that's related. A big one that's just kicked in the last few days is that meteor came down. And so when that happened, oh my goodness, my email went nuts. It was like, look, Bigfoot was getting out of the area, and then this meteor comes down. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to tell you.
It's like the sharks in Florida.
Wild.
Yeah. How many people said it arrived? More of them arrived on the meteor or something too, I'm sure.
Catching a ride out.
One or two, but most of them were like, they're getting out of town. The one I like the most is from Glenn, who's the researcher, Glenn Adkins from the area. And his theory is that, so his theory is that the time frame that these sightings happened, the weather in this area was really warm. And so you had tons of people out that most years should not have been out. And we all know that you need part of having a Bigfoot sighting is having the people to see the Bigfoot.
Yep.
So I'm going with unseasonal, very, very warm, hot weather, or warm weather. And so more people out walking around. And that's why you're seeing these creatures that are moving around, and they're usually not seen by people at this time of year, because usually it's colder or there's more snow on the ground, something like that. So that's the one I'm kind of leaning towards myself. I
like that one a lot, because I know that kind of falls into at least one of the ones you've been talking about.
Just like what I said ahead of the show.
Yeah. Where, what do you want to talk? You want to go?
Just that I just think it's normal, I guess, activity, normal behavior. And it's just people finally seen it and are finally reporting it. And there's someone out there that can publish those reports that all people all around the world can see it in real time.
I think that's a great, and this is where the magic of the Bigfoot mapping project happens. And because you have a place where, let's say someone can report a Bigfoot sighting, and then it's not going to get stuck, but it's going to be shared. And then combine that with the culture that we live in, which is a social media intense news cycle. And then you have account like mine where they take that information, put it out, and the algorithm goes crazy. And it's just kind of like a perfect storm type situation.
Mm-hmm. And I think like the only danger, I think, or not danger, I don't want to say that. I think it's great that all that is able to happen. And I think things can get misconstrued or
sure.
They let things like I think the truth is out there with everything. Everything. You can always find the truth out there if you're looking for it. But I also think so many theories, like the ones you just named off, people were telling you like, oh, it's running from something, or it's running from the meteor, or it's like the mating place. It's just all these wild theories get tossed out there, and I like it comes like with the government trying to conceal truths, in the media and things like that. They'll allow those things and theories to just run wild, like wildfire out there, and they'll even put some of them out there themselves to let just people talk about that rather than just focusing on what the actual truth is. And
potentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the truth does get out there in some of those quote unquote crazy theories. I think sometimes they are the truth, and you're just labeled as a crazy person if you actually believe that. But let's entertain all this other stuff that it's not. But if you land on the truth, you're the crazy person. It just feels like that's how it's shaped to me. And it's how they hide the truth and conceal the truth by labeling the truth as crazy and just letting anything else as, well, maybe we can entertain that because it's not the truth.
What I hope happens through all this is allegedly there's going to be a releasing of maybe some UFO and alien stuff from the government. Maybe they'll see this and they'll be like, you know what? Let's throw in the Bigfoot stuff.
Throw in the Bigfoot files.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's just throw it all in. And
they've killed too many of them.
Solid. So
they've killed too many of them. There's too much blood on their hands.
Or we're actually we're leaning on the government to actually reveal anything truthful about anything when it comes to aliens or Bigfoot. I say if they put it out, there's the lie. What do you know where they're putting it out? Like, let's see what they put out and then look at the exact opposite thing, and then we might find the truth.
You're not very opinionated, are you?
No.
We're all on the list now. Well,
we've been on.
I should say a list, not the list.
We've been on a list for a while.
I'm on a list and the list.
You're on the Epstein list?
Google my name.
I did.
You did. My last name, but
it did come up. Your last name did come up, but it was somebody else.
Doctor research.
Just saying.
Bro.
One of the clones were on the island.
I Googled your first name, and you wouldn't believe how much came up.
If you probably could Google my full name, and it may come up because that race car driver.
Oh yeah, shoot.
There is that one famous guy that shares my name.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you use race cars?
Yeah, I fit in those little cars. I'd look like a bust a can of biscuits. No, I really, I liked the Momo kind of thought personally, where I have this. We've talked about theories and stuff like that. None of us know, but you've been around for a while, and as far as like some biological things, I always like to go that kind of route and kind of just use other animals and place those behaviors onto them, because you see it's covergent evolution in animals for behaviors, and intelligent animals kind of do the same thing across the board. So, for example, orcas, arguably one of the other most intelligent animals on the planet, besides us and baleen whales, and like bonobos and those kind of things. So top 5 probably sentient animals on the planet. What?
What about tenrics?
Tenrics are not sentient.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They're living poisonous rocks. That look like hedgehogs.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised you even remember what a tenric is.
I know, I just picked a random animal. Well, you were doing it. Bonobos, baleen whales.
But I know those.
I don't know. There's hyper-specific.
Orcas.
There we go.
Orcas. Orcas have an extreme matriarchal society, but there's actually like 32-ish subspecies of orca that we've now discovered. So migratory orcapods have a really unique thing they do, where the matriarch, the mom, the grandma is normally who it is, stays back with the kids and teaches them a lot of stuff. She no longer hunts. She no longer goes out of her, So the rest of the pod travels sometimes hundreds of miles away from grandma and the kids. And she is spending her time teaching them all, stuff that she's learned over her long life. Orcas live in their 80s, and teaching those skills before they go out and start learning how to hunt. Whether that's communication, navigation, salinity testing. You ever seen them stick out their tongue and they can tell where rivers are coming from inland where they may want to feed on salmon runs. So I kind of place that behavior like with Momo. It seemed to have an older, maybe elderly individual and a very young individual. And you don't really see a lot of other Sasquatch in that incident. There's this old white one that's skinny, we're assuming, and this younger, like 6 foot bulky one. And it's still a kid though. So yeah, it's going to learn from grandpa or grandma a little bit, but it's also going to run off and try. And we've talked about that in a lot of the Hocking Hills encounters, that sometimes when you see, like when you have, and then Salt Fork too, there's a lot of these Salt Fork encounters where Salt Fork in Ohio, for everybody listening, which is a part of both of those areas are part of the Green Highway, where Salt Fork, for example, there's 3 different sightings I can think of when we had John on, where you seen a Bigfoot on the trail ahead of you, and it's just standing there looking at you all funky or trying to walk away, and almost like it's trying to lead you somewhere. And when you turn around, it's because there was a baby who walked by or a young one.
Yep.
And it's just trying to lure you away and that kind of stuff. So it really makes me think of this. That's one option, that this giant individual, we're talking the one people are seeing that is 9 feet tall. And we've talked about animal weights with, it's not a normal, like a straight line scale. It's a high bar, like it's a high graph. Like the taller you are, you get heavier a lot faster. So a 9 foot bipedal organism would be immense.
And then 10 foot.
I mean, yeah,
way more immense than 9.
Yeah,
they exponentially grow.
Yes,
Yeah.
exponentially. Thank you. So I'm not saying that Bigfoot can't get 10 feet. I believe they do. I think those are rare, probably on the East Coast, being that big. But that would point though to an older individual, and you're only seeing in this flap, at least from what I can tell, an older individual and a younger individual, not 6 or 7 feet. And then this 9 or 10 footer, this
I agree.
a massive one and a little one. Where is it mom and baby? Is it, this bull male and a female? There's some kind of, with the sightings being this close, there's some kind of relationship between these two animals. I would imagine, that's speculation on my part, highly. So the grandpa taking care of the kid theory, the migration theory, like you said to Ashley, we are having an early mushroom spring, and the homeless community in the national parks, I've had a lot of experience with them. My buddy was named Skunk out of the Hocking Hills when they would go down to Tennessee in the winter, and that's what they would follow back up, is the mushrooms.
Okay.
So humans do that. Homeless humans in the national park system do that, where they follow
fascinating.
They follow the mushrooms back up because, they're foraging. That's, an amazing food source. And I don't think Bigfoot's scared of the cold. They live in Alaska and everything like that. But I do think they are food migratory motivated. And mushrooms are an amazing food source. But I really like what you said and like what Glenn said, where it's just normal activity. They probably, this unit or this group probably does it every year. But March 9th is normally frozen hell in Northeast Ohio and Northwest Ohio.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there's 2 people normally out in the woods. So if you walk this path, and like migratory animals, depending on the species, like there's elevation migration and all this stuff. We've done episodes on the types of migration. But migratory animals, depending on what you're talking about, are extremely predictable. Like if you're talking like great white sharks, for example, some of our adult male great white sharks have 4-year cycles to the day. You can tell without trackers, because that's how they start tracking a couple man-eaters. So off the coast of California, when there's one specific shark, they know he's only here for 3 days every 4 years. So they, ban people on the beach because he's there. They know he's going to be there. So migratory animals can be extremely date specific. And March 9th, that's kind of the range we're really talking about, right?
6th and
So
10th. Yeah.
So real early March.
Mhm.
I mean, in our lifetime, when can you think of real early March having 75 degrees?
No, it's not often.
Like maybe once in 30 years?
Maybe.
Like this warm?
Yeah. I mean,
Where we're having mushrooms pop up
70 degrees.
in March?
Yeah. It was almost 80 degrees the other day.
So traditionally, mushroom season doesn't start till turkey season, gun season for turkeys here in Ohio, which is April. It's just for anybody.
I think, too, you made a really important point, though, that Milton Lake has some of the cleanest headwaters.
That whole part. I mean, we're talking like Chagrin River.
And
still has. So here, I'll tell you this. There is a big cluster of clean water dependent state endangered species in that area. So it's clean water. So hawking, a problem is I did this, worked with acid mine drainage. A lot of the eastern part of Ohio has acid mine drainage where it looks like clean, crystal clear water. And it has a pH of 1.8, which will eat your boots because it did it to me.
My goodness.
I got a little bit of water on it.
But it's clear.
It's crystal clear. And if you didn't know what you were doing, you stick your hand in that, it's just going to not come back.
Like that raccoon that dropped the cotton candy in the water.
Yeah, but your arm.
Yeah.
But so that area though, like north. So there's sand darters, which are state endangered. So Chagrin, which is not too far, has the only surviving native brook trout population for Ohio. They need such clean, clear, oxygenated water. It's it. And there's a myriad of other species. That's what I did. So I can.
But if you're an intelligent creature,
you need clean water.
Yes, you need clean water, and you're going to know where it's at, and you're going to go to those places where it's at that you know it's 100%. At. So I believe, like what you said. I mean, to me, it adds up. This is just a known path they're going to use, and because they know there's not much people, they know the water's clean, and it's just the area they use. And now, this time, people caught a few of them. They saw them in the act.
And then like you said, that there's amazing places like with Jeremiah and the Bigfoot Mapping Project where you can turn these in. Like you can actually, like 30 years ago, there didn't exist.
No.
Like it was maybe one 30 years ago, but you couldn't do this.
No, now it's a thing.
So like, unless, like we've talked about the 60s and 70s, everybody, from Kiel and stuff like that, you heard some stories and then Kiel had to go there. And then that's when the more stories came out. Is he took weeks. He just lived in a hotel down there. And then Mary, I always forget her last name, but the help Kiel amazingly doesn't get enough
The
credit.
librarian?
No, Mary, she was a journalist from Athens, Ohio.
Okay.
And she drove down and did a lot of work with John.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget her name. I'm sorry, Mary. But she did amazing work too. And so there were boots on the ground people in the 60s and 70s. The only way some of these got out. And so I'm sure there was Bigfoot flaps, in the 80s that happened out in Oklahoma or happened in Nebraska or happened in South Dakota. And there just wasn't, they didn't get out fast enough or there wasn't a person there close enough to turn around. And like you were saying, with the power, the good, bad, and indifferent with social media and stuff like that.
Right.
Everybody could see this now and be like, well, I just seen one there too. And here's what I seen. I'm sorry. I talked a lot there. I had a lot of thoughts.
Well, I just think if anyone out there has seen a Bigfoot or has a...
Turn it into Jeremiah.
Yes. Go to BigfootSocietyPodcast.com and write Jeremiah an email. Tell him your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. BigfootSociety@gmail.com.
Send him a Bigfoot.
Send him a Bigfoot head.
Gosh.
Oh, easy.
That got grizzly and scary fast.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, you get a call from the post office for your PO box.
Hey, you got another one.
Hey,
you got another one down here.
You got a box. It's leaking.
It's stinky,
and it doesn't. It's like that.
Yeah,
Bigfoot
please don't do that.
In Georgia, that was a pig stuffed into the Bigfoot costume.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, disgusting.
Remember that? Sold for $1 million.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Some Georgian hillbillies figured it out.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
It's got guts.
No, we'll just stick with the reports.
Yeah, please.
Jay, do you have anything?
No, I mean, this has been a great... I really enjoyed talking with you and you sharing the whole breakdown of how it went down. And it's been not refreshing, but what's the right word? It's just
enlightening.
Enlightening about it all. It's nice just seeing the other side of the experience, because you see this stuff on social media, not particularly like in your case what happened, but you just see the Bigfoot stuff and Bigfoot stories all the time, and it's just nice to talk to the guy on the other side of it, reporting it all straight from the horse's mouth. I enjoy that.
There you go. There you go. And always fun to talk to you guys. If your listeners want to check it out, I just did an interview actually with Glenn on Bigfoot Society. So if you want to hear Glenn's side of it, there's some interesting details on that. You can check that out over at Bigfoot Society. Just check out, look for Glenn Adkins. So
for everybody at home, down below, there'll be a link to the podcast, a link to the website, and then we'll link for Glenn's episode.
Thank you.
So that'll be in that. I'll try to do it in that order just below this. So please, everybody, check out Jeremiah. Support him if you can. A 5-star review or sharing something is the easiest and freest way to support a creator. But if you can't, buy a t-shirt, join Patreon. You know, Jeremiah's a good guy, and he deserves financial compensation. What? All right, you ready for the song?
Appreciate that, you guys. Thank you.
You ready for the song? We'll end on the song.
Whoa.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Nah.
He was a good friend of mine.
Nah.
You guys are going to get demonetized on YouTube.
He's
never
sharing Bigfoot stories.
Joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishies in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. All right, Jeremiah.
All right.
Let's yell bye, and we'll cut it from here. 3, 2, 1. Bye.